Hello, everybody, and welcome to the stream. Dire Lost Horizon. Woo! Let's dance because Vegas isn't here, and so we have to do it for him. This is for you, Vegas. This is for you. Also, Vegas isn't here. I feel like I buried the lead on that one. And Caddy's back, so that's good. All right. It has been 1 week. It feels like it's been forever.
Yeah.
Was it 2 weeks?
It
Because
was
we missed Father's Day. Did we not?
Oh, it's 2 weeks.
It was
Yeah.
2 weeks. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And next week, assuming no emergencies happen, my dad will be watching the kids instead of my mom, so it may be really loud. Alenia, thanks for the 6-month streak on the Twitch Prime subscription.
Wait, that means I need to resubscribe.
Okay, well, I'll thank you when that happens.
All on the same resubscribe schedule.
You guys all synced up. So, last time, 2 freaking weeks ago, some stuff happened. You guys are on a grand quest to retake the planet of Prolixin from the Saldrosi Empire because underneath the Starkeeper Fortress is something called the Fallen Star. Hey, new guy, thanks for the 15-month subscription of Twitch Prime. That's not a 15-month subscription. Thank you for subscribing for 15 months in a row using Twitch Prime. There we go. And since Elise, it's been 3 weeks. Got me a little bit of slack. Elise is, for all intents and purposes, not literally, but figuratively, the last Starkeeper. Even though her twin brother, who's also Starkeeper, is still around. He just isn't in the limelight, as it were. Because she's the last Starkeeper, she has taken on the Starkeeper's task of keeping whatever, we don't know what it is, but whatever this fallen star is, it is asleep, apparently, and if it wakes up, it spells doom for at least the Fire Expanse, if not more. So
D-O-O-M.
D-O-O-M. So Elise has taken on the quest to retake her home planet from the Saldrosi Empire, a very daunting and unrealistic plan. But they're working away at it. Their first order of business was to get a favor from the leader of the Thuj cartel here in the Wild Cluster. And the leader, Mokral Shin, I believe his name is.
Mm-hmm.
You guys rescued him from a blue gaze. That's G-A-Z-E. For those of you who for some reason keep hearing something else. The blue gaze was a covert kind of CIA-like group for the Saldrosi Empire. You guys busted.
Yeah, kind of like a closeted CIA.
Yeah, a very yes, a very repressed CIA of the Saldrosi Empire working in the Wild Cluster. You guys found their base of operations, killed everybody inside, and rescued Mokral Shin. He owes you a favor. He is offering you that was loud. For free, he is offering you 100 battle bots. Now, 100 battle bots is a tiny drop of water in the ocean you will need to take an entire planet. But he's also willing to sell you more at a substantial discount. Unfortunately, you guys don't have funds. So,
Or at least not that much.
exactly. Enough to buy an army, right? Son, be quiet. Rude.
You didn't say please.
I didn't say please.
The power of the youth.
Mm-hmm. Where was I? Oh, yeah. So then you guys went to the Rosespire Militia, where your Elise's twin brother works. He's the main strategist. And they said, probably not. No, we can't help you. We're kind of busy. Maybe if things improve. You have your finger up. I'm still recapping. Can I wait? Or is it pertinent to the recap?
It's pertinent to recap. I'm just not sure if the order of what you're saying is proper, but maybe it is. Didn't we go to the
Militia first?
No,
That's right. You went to your Saldrosi Empire contact, and you gave him a whole bunch of blackmail on his peers hoping that he would use it to hurt the Empire, and he went, thanks, and then
He
left.
still might.
He still might, but he hasn't yet.
Yeah, we don't
If he
get to
does-
see into his mind.
I keep
And if-
forgetting that happened because I tried really hard to make it not happen, and I failed.
Why did? Hey, we do what we want.
That's right. It's called a role-playing game. They're going shopping, so it'll be quieter for a bit.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Hopefully they buy some manners.
And if you could ask them, I'd really like some Takis.
Okay.
They're getting stickers, so
Oh,
Ooh.
good. I was just thinking I hadn't peeled enough of those off the wall. So the next thing they did was they went to the planet. Oh no, what is the name of this planet? Boy, I should know.
The planet? Oh,
I know
no.
the system. It's in the Berg system.
You could say
Gantoya?
that. You could say that
Gantoya.
the planet
No,
Y'all is now
straight
the
up.
planet. Oh no.
Oh no, is a planet in the Y'all system. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys went to Gantoya, which is in the solar system of Berg, which is more or less a neighbor of the system of Apodus, which is where Pelixin is. And the Gantoya there worship psychics, which is, useful when you have a very, very, very powerful psychic. Like, I can't stress enough how freaking powerful Alicia
How dope
actually
she
is
is,
narratively. Yeah. They have this military force called the Greshtel, which are these elite warriors who serve at the behest of a prophetic figure with the title Alukan. In order to determine who an Alukan is, they must face the trials of the Alukan, and if a psychic of significant strength, will, and fortitude complete the challenge and receive a vision of the future leading the Greshtel, then the Greshtel will swear their lives to the Alukan. So, you guys went into the chamber with your pal Slag, who woke up for that session, and almost got one shot until we remembered he had armor. Good thing to remember, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
You guys fought this gigantic worm, WORM.
That was fun.
That was also psychic. Killed it, and she received a vision leading the Greshtel, and she is now the Alukan, which means she now has a palace and an army. And I don't know if I said last week what the army strength is. It is in the tens of thousands of the Greshtel. Which sounds like a lot, but then when you think about it on like a planetary scale, sounds like a little. These guys are elite warriors. They are badasses. But there's not enough to take a whole planet, right? Alright, so next on your list, and this is a lot of recap because it's been 3 weeks, and it's a really long adventure, because it's the last adventure, the finale. So the only other avenues you guys have are the Sphere Mandate, which you kind of, you didn't just burn that bridge, you burned the bridge and then
we put gas on the ashes.
yeah,
Yeah.
that bridge is toasty. You'd have to probably have a lot of concessions to enlist their aid. The other two options are your familial contacts. Razik has his wife, who at the time of their plan, they believed she was a senator in the Crest League. However, they have learned that she is no longer a senator. And then, of course, House Sanguilin has a seat in the oligarchy of the Ersar oligarchy, which means they hold significant political power, probably more than Razik's wife when she was a senator. Definitely a lot more now. And of course, these two factions, the Fairstar Oligarchy and the Crest League, make up 2 of the 3 of the Tri-State Alliance. So you guys are trying to muster them. That leads us to the planet Cress, the capital of the Crest League, so named after, where you guys paid a visit to Mrs.
Gorzan?
Gorzan. Yeah, for some reason, it's like Gantoya and Greshtel and all these G names. I was about to say Gorzan. I'm like, no, wait. I had it right. I just screwed myself. Mrs. Gorzan. And Razik.
Not for much longer.
Yeah. It didn't To say it didn't go well, probably be
Yes. To summarize it, Razik put his foot in his mouth, then another one, and then a third one that was not even his, and at that point it went downhill very, very fast.
Look, you would think the foot that wasn't his would help the situation, but it didn't.
No. He did like every husband does in pretty much every movie, and he just kept talking when he should have shut the fuck up, but he didn't.
It ended with him getting divorce papers.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Which he took straight faces, but for anybody who's a little bit of a face reader, which probably his crew can probably tell, it was kind of a devastating blow that he refused to let the outside world see, but it still showed.
And then when you guys were leaving the
Irene has
Gorazan estate,
alcohol.
that's true, right? Alcohol. You guys received word that someone had strapped a bomb to the Involucre, and then you had a chat with an unknown mercenary pirate man who said that you guys killed his boss over on the planet of Thorgun. And he said normally he would thank you guys for getting him out of his way, but someone is paying him a lot of money to kill y'all. And just when you guys were figuring out how you're going to handle this situation, behind you, an elevator opened, and out stepped A-Track with upgraded weapons and defenses and reprogrammed to hunt you guys down. Oh, damn, I forgot. It's kind of... I guess we can handwave that, and we can deal with the ramifications of how you guys dealt with A-Track when we have Vegas/Irene. Because, as I'm about to say, two extraordinary things happened. At least he pulled a helicopter through a building.
That was pretty good.
That was pretty good. And Irene had a backup personality matrix for the sim droid Doc. And in order to take care of A-Track, just kind of formatted A-Track and installed Doc.
Which is like fucked up as hell.
Well, only if you think sim droids are alive.
I mean, a little bit sapient.
This has been the topic of debate since science fiction, existed.
But I mean, A-Track was trying to kill us. We could have killed him or it, depending on how you want to go with
We
pronouns.
kind of did.
Yeah, but then the thing is if we blew him up, how is it worse than formatting him and putting in an ally instead?
I mean, it's kind of like skinning your enemy and then wearing his flesh around for a while.
No.
No, I disagree.
Or it's kind of like forced organ donation.
It's a brain transplant.
It's
but,
like
non-consensual.
I've taken all of your organs, which we don't do to. But anyway, I have some feelings about it as me outside of the game, but that won't affect HypoWest rejoicing with Irene on her excellent plan in the game.
I will say that it is the common sense of the galaxy that sim droids are not, in fact, alive.
Yeah. Just because they don't know it's wrong doesn't mean it isn't.
Right. The name sim droid comes from they simulate life.
Yeah. I'm aware of that.
Yeah. So again, the common consensus is these things aren't alive. However, obviously because they have personalities that are allowed to evolve and grow like people, anthropomorphize them. Butcher that word.
It's okay. It just proves you're not a furry.
Yay, I guess.
I'm one that can't say that word, but that might be because I'm French.
It's because you're French.
It's because you're French, yeah. Anyway, so they stopped the bomb, killed all the mercs, rewrote A-Track, and that's where we ended the session because we were over time and we had to just. Oh yeah, you guys were mid-combat, but at that point in the combat, you had defused the bomb, you had destroyed the helicopter, you had all that was left was the leader of the mercs, who was a stat block you have previously defeated. So we come in with the battle over. The pods that make up the city around where you guys have fought there's fires and broken glass and death and despair, and there you guys are in the midst of all that, as you always are. Irene will quickly rush up into the Involucre to make sure nothing was tampered with and all that, leaving the three of you. And technically, you are with someone I completely skipped over in the back in the recap. With you is Nulcer Beckon, the Denarch of the Leighton Rangers, which was, and I swear this is the last bit of catch up. The Leighton Rangers were non-psionic elite warriors. They were like guerrilla paramilitary types that were sworn to service to the Starkeepers back when the Starkeepers, were a thing and not a person and her twin brother. So, he is the last Denarch, which is one of their higher ranks. Probably one of the highest ranks. There's probably a series of Denarchs at the top of the food chain, right? So he's the last Denarch, and he has found Elise, which is how we're on this quest. So he's with you as well. Nulcer Beckon, he is human, and he is a latent.
Yeah, with him comes a small contingent, I believe, of rangers, but not on the scale of the Greshtel.
yeah, a couple dozen, like a platoon strength of latent rangers. We're willing to die for the cause. That ain't nothing.
Yeah. We're not
My son
unappreciative.
left a whole bunch of toys next to me, and my ADHD is like, this moves. So
Yeah.
if you guys hear fiddling,
that's the point of STEM
I'm trying to get them out of arm's reach now.
That's why I knit.
Knitting isn't loud. It doesn't have clanky plastic bits.
He
Yeah.
also thinks it's black magic, so he can't do it anyways.
Knitting and yeah, I've watched you do it. I'm like, nah, that's impossible. What you just did there, it's mad. Like, I've seen her crochet. She like loop, pull, and suddenly they're all connected. No, that's not how physics works. No.
No, because when you pull, it goes through the other loops.
No. That's not how physics works. It's magic. Y'all are sorceresses. Back to the game.
Both can be true. Yeah, pretty much like all right, guys, we have got to go. Get in the ship. Irene, we're flying this thing. Sorry,
okay.
That was loud.
So as you're getting ready to get the Involucre ready to disembark, Razik, your comm picks up.
I'll answer.
Okay. And it would have helped if your GM was... I was like, I don't need anything open. This is going to be a roleplay session. Wait, names and shit. That open. Hey, Ollie Rant! Thanks for tuning in. You think
Ollie!
maybe this Wednesday I'll get to see you? Because I think we've canceled Wednesday more than we canceled this show.
That's a challenge. I hope you're doing okay, Ollie.
All right. So on the comm is is it your butler? I mean, you guys will have to figure it out in the divorce, right? Your butler, Yorgu.
Yep.
And he says, Master Razik, I understand there was a bit of a commotion the docking bay, but since you've answered your comm, I assume all is well. If it is not too much trouble, there is a bit of a medical emergency here at the manor, and I do not wish to contact the normal avenues. It's a sensitive matter, and I was wondering if you could again return here. Post-haste.
Assuming there's no more explosions and shooting at me, yes. I'll be on my way.
Yeah, we need some deets.
Well, it's not common. I will see you here. I will tell Alkane to let you and your compatriots in with haste. You are needed immediately.
Does that mean we can be armed?
I don't know why you want to be armed, but then again, you just got attacked by a bunch of mercs. So
I mean,
Yes, clear your grazes.
if Elise sees him leaving, she's gonna go with him.
No, Rizik wouldn't leave
Oh,
without the crew, especially if people are about to leave. He's gonna come into the crew communication and he's gonna say, I got contacted by my majordome
Oh my god.
and my butler, and apparently there's a medical emergency at the manor. I don't know more details than that, but
You
like
didn't
I
get
want to
more
go.
details? No, yeah, of course you want to go. Is there a way we can fly in?
I don't think so, unless the ship has some other capabilities and we find an
Do we
open
still
window in the
have
dome. I
Dag's
doubt it.
hover bike?
There are like air taxis, but
Do we?
you guys are like pretty close. Like you picked a port that was
Yeah.
We
nearby.
did run by. I know, but do
An
we
air
still
taxi
have
could
Dag's?
get you there quicker.
Do we still have Dag's hover bike?
I think he took that with him.
I think he took that with him. Yeah, we established
just-
last.
Yeah, he.
Okay,
he
yes.
Last time we
took it.
played, not last week.
Okay, okay. Everyone be incredible. Everyone be cool. We call for an air taxi.
Okay. And it's the three of you. Are you guys leaving Nolsterbeck? And because it's weird. To
Yeah,
have an
sure.
NPC.
How does
I want him to stay there in case someone tries something.
Yeah. And you guys check on Hines. He's alive. He was just knocked unconscious.
Good.
Yeah. Might have minor brain damage, but honestly, no one would notice. Uh.
No, he just gets a real obsession with the Tri-State Alliance.
Okay, so you're leaving your two NPCs and the wayward player back on the ship, and Irene says that she'll keep the ship ready to fly in case you guys need to book.
I'd probably shoot anybody who gets close that's not Eins or Nolser.
And since I know Vegas well, I'm gonna assume that Irene is going to take the bomb that she disarmed and tuck it into a nice place
Yes,
for future use.
for later.
Yeah. In case of
That's a surprise tool we can use.
yeah,
Really.
in case of needing a huge explosion, break glass. All right. So you guys get an air taxi, and you fly as close as you can get with the air taxi, which is a lot closer than you can land. Obviously, pretty significantly close to the manor, and you guys make your way over there. I assume you guys are decked to the nines as you were when you fought.
Yes.
Does
I have a
Hypos want to
serious
change
wound.
armors, or is he going to stay in what you fought with?
If we have time before the taxi gets there, yeah, I'll hop into my armor.
Yeah, I don't know if they have donning and doffing in in time wise, but I'm sure you have enough time to switch armors before the taxi shows up.
Yeah, climb into my still bleeding. Like, this will be fine.
Okay, so yeah, so you arrive at the manor, and Alkane sees you guys and doesn't even say anything, just flips a switch, the door behind him opens, and yeah.
During the ride on the taxi, Rizik would have been like typing and thinking on his like little personal communication tablet and being rather silent.
Okay.
Just an FYI, the travel.
Yeah, I mean, my plan was while we were leaving planet to like sit down and chat with you, so I'm gonna let you have your feelings.
Yep.
All right. You guys enter the foyer, and you hear from upstairs Yorgu shout, "Master Rizik, the bedroom!"
And Rizik will not even like mention anything and just make his way toward the bedroom, and wouldn't stop if they want to follow, but his
we're
main
close
focus
behind.
there.
Okay. You come to the master bedroom, which is this grand pearl white architecture with, no hard lines, lots of smooth corners, and that kind of. This city has a lot of that for the clean, sleek look. And you find Yorgu cradling your wife Xena, and she is convulsing. There is some kind of foam or phlegm coming out of her mouth, or beak, I should say. And it appears she's in some kind of arrest, so having some kind of attack.
Rizik would immediately run to his wife's side, ask Yorgu to step aside, and he would the basic maneuvers to try and bring her back,
Hey,
as well as
check.
as well as activate the med pack to see if there's any poison or anything that it
Yeah,
can
yeah. This med check is like diagnosing her, right?
Okay, medicine +1 and 2. It would be probably first aid, so +2, and my med pack wouldn't give me any bonuses. We're not in the med bay, so +2.
While he's doing this, I'm gonna look around. Is there anything like that looks disturbed?
It's her huge wine glass.
It's a stellar, by the way. I don't think I need
Yeah,
to
okay.
mention.
For some reason, it didn't update when you rolled, so I figured out why. I figured out why. Go ahead and give me an awareness check, Lucy. And you can go ahead and use your canine senses since you're getting a, you're scoping out any
Yeah,
disruption.
that just gives me a +1 in my,
Well, I mean, a +1's a +1, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Razik, you got a stellar. You immediately know a few things with the stellar success. One, she has not been poisoned. Well, she has been poisoned, but it's not like she hasn't ingested poison. She is overdosing. And again, with your stellar, you can quickly determine, based on the movements of her spasms and the response in her eyes and all of these signs point to the fact that, again, with your vast medical history and training, you know that she is overdosing on some kind of neural stimulant. Which means if you don't do something right now, she will have a stroke.
Well, as bad as he was talking his way out of this divorce, he still prides himself in being the best doctor there is in the fire expense. So he believes he can absolutely save her on this spot, even if it's the last thing he fucking does.
Okay, you also know that because this was formerly your house, it is very well stocked. And your butler knows where everything is. And so you immediately bust an action telling him, I need this, get it. And he knows right what to do. Alright, so go ahead and give me another medicine check. This one will be treatment specialty.
Perfect. So same thing, +2, unless you want to give me bonuses for the well-stocked stuff.
I'm going to give you a +1, but I'm going to give you a -3 because she has been doing this for 10 minutes now. Like she has been overdosing for a while. You don't have your window is closing rapidly.
Yep.
Also, I looked it up. There is no rules on how long it takes to put on armor. So if Alternity doesn't care, neither do I.
Well, so with your +1 and a -3, that brings me to a 0, and I'm gonna hero point that. Even though that would be a success, I want to bring it one step one.
Okay.
Oh, it wouldn't be so it's an average.
So you turn it into an average? Okay. With your average success, you save her life. She is unconscious, and you reckon the length at which she was experiencing this overdose, you can assume there's going to be lasting damage. You don't know if it's permanent, but you definitely know she's not out. You haven't just flipped a switch and she's fine.
Yeah.
She's incapacitated for the time being. You and Yorgu relocate her to the bed, get her comfortable. You probably put her on an IV, and then there you go.
There might be a need to go to the hospital as well. Get some specialized care.
Yes, there might be.
At this point, I believe Yorgu would be the one that should take care of this.
Well, I mean, quite frankly, Razik, who are as if not more efficient or skilled in treating this than any doctor at a hospital. It's just a matter of equipment.
We're high-level player characters.
Yeah, and you have 10 medicine with all specialties. That means you're the best. If you broach a hospital to Yorgu, he will immediately be like, "Oh, is that completely necessary, sir? We have a well-stocked medical cabinet. I'm sure whatever it is, you can have." And you've known Yorgu long enough to know that this is how he gets.
There's a reason.
This is how he gets, specifically when something will blow up in Xena's face. Right?
Yeah.
He's more than just the caretaker of the home and the caretaker of the couple. He's also an assistant in realms of, well, in her former job.
Oh,
You
so
know. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say Rizik is gonna kind of take Yorgu to the side, like like once things calm down and whatnot, he's gonna take him to a corner of the room, not because he doesn't want the crew to know about what he's gonna say, but just privacy for Xena. He's gonna say like, she's she's overdosing on neurostimulants. Where did these come from?
He heads over to her nightstand, pops it open, and pill bottle. As he passes it to you, he says, "She was prescribed these shortly after you left, in an effort to compartmentalize her mental state to make her better at her job. She was very emotional when you left. These were again prescribed by a psychiatrist in order to stabilize her, in order to so she could do her job. However, as you know, she is no longer a senator, and she has been continuing this regiment since then. That is to say, she doesn't need them."
I see.
Obviously, I'm aware of this. Not. I need a new piece of fucking tape.
It is not knowledge that anybody else should have, is what you
Nor
say.
is it my purview to critique her. Her choices.
Neither is mine. I've caused this.
Well, your wife, the Madame Xena, made choices. Not sure if you're required to take responsibility. You feel a sense of responsibility, then may I implore you, do not get a hospital. If you need additional supplies or equipment, we are still well funded in this household. Otherwise, I wouldn't be employed. And I can run errands anywhere in the city.
Well, in that case, do we have a room that we could sterilize in a somewhat proper fashion? Problem is the surface area. I'm thinking like the kitchen would be too intense. The bathrooms we don't have surfaces.
Do you plan on performing surgery?
So
Sadly, in her case, it is possible that it will be required because of the state in which I found her. Tells me that she's been doing this. Like you found her probably after a certain amount of time, and then we came in after a certain amount of time. There are damages that can possibly be repaired before they become permanent.
Very well. Tell me what you need,
It
and I shall make it happen.
it is a very very delicate surgery that I would need to do. Before I continue with the roleplay, Jaken, would the med pack have the tools, the specialized tools required for such a surgery?
You have an
For
upgraded med pack, right?
Oh, actually, that should have given me. Oh no, it's a -1 when automated. Okay, never mind. But it's
Right.
still an upgraded med pack. Yeah.
So, here's what you have. You have every handheld tool you need, but you may not have the more sophisticated diagnostic tools and imagery tools to do a delicate
Obviously,
operation like this.
we have the Ceregal.
Yes. don't have an X-ray machine or a CAT scan machine or things like that.
No, but Rizik has been playing enough with psionic powers that maybe he could divine a way to use the Ceregal along with Alisi's psionic power to know where the neural pathways are broken. Use psionic as an X-ray machine or a CAT scan machine, essentially.
Yeah, it's possible.
At least he's gonna do what now? That's pretty much what she's like. She's like, what?
I don't know if Rizika is vocalizing this, to be fair.
No, he's internalizing it because he's like, what could Yorgu get? Like Yorgu could get the specialized items like a laser scalpel or whatnot that like leaves very little damage to the bone and whatnot, instead of like the skull, the bone saw that we use today.
Skunecracker 5000, yeah.
Yeah, essentially. And all the specialized tools, fairly certain that Yorgu could get his hand on it, but the problem is the scanner. And you don't want to operate on the brain, even as good as Razik is, you don't want to operate on the brain blind.
Right.
Like that's no go. So he needs a way to see where the damages in the brain are, and that's why right now the quickest way is psionic.
Yeah, I mean your med bay on your ship has like basic level of that kind of equipment.
I'm telling y'all, we should have stole the taxi.
You can steal one if you need to.
Elena's like, no, don't put the guy at gunpoint.
Yeah, Hypolis is, like thinking about stealing a taxi, and Elite tells him no, and he's like loading his handgun and going, shame, shame.
Okay, so Razik would say to Yorgu, here are the list of the tools I absolutely need if I want to even try to reverse the damage that this convulsion just did. And he's gonna like make an electronic list of all the tools that he absolutely require, and then at the very bottom he's gonna add, these are equipment that I would require, but I doubt you'll be able to get your hands on them, but if you somehow have contacts, means, ways, maybe ask Alkane as well to get these items, I would also require them. And it's gonna be like a CAT scan, maybe a more compressed version of it, like a mobile version of it.
Just
And
bring the carriage round.
Yeah, this is like a massively in the future. I'm sure they have really, really small CAT scan.
So he's gonna give him the list, and he's gonna say, "Meet us at dock, whatever, where the Involucre is," and I'm gonna have to bring Xena there.
Okay. Well, in addition to the supplies you have, obviously here at the house you do have a stretcher, one of them hover stretchers. So you guys load Xena up and you get another taxi, or do you? I guess at this point you can kind of walk back.
Yep.
Do they not have like a private car?
No, air traffic is like really regulated. Instead, they, if you remember, I know it's been 3 weeks. They use these tube transits, which is basically like their version of a subway. That's the majority of rapid movement from one place to the other is through tube transit. But you could take an air taxi. They're actually more expensive. They're the most expensive way to get around town, but they could get you as the crow flies. Whereas you may have to take more than one tube to get where you're trying to go. So yeah, when you live in a city of balls and hallways connected to those balls, not a lot of people get to fly cars. Sorry.
Yeah, the rich doctors and senators don't.
Yeah, but why would y'all drive your own cars?
Yeah, I reckon you'd have some kind of motorcade. Yeah.
Yep.
When she was still a senator, but she's not. So yeah, you guys,
Yep.
take the tubes and
Yep.
make your way back to Involucre.
Perfect. As we get,
Hang on, as you guys enter, you guys are getting the medical bay ready, and Heinz is like, "Oh, doctor, I'm glad you're here. I got hit on the head, really bad. Oh, it can wait."
you can stand, you can talk. You're in a better shape right now. I'll get to you after. But I won't.
He gives you a thumbs up, and then as soon as you turn away, he like stumbles away.
Yeah, me too, Heinz.
Oh shoot, I'm wounded too.
Oh yeah, there's
Do
gonna
your
be surgery.
grazes.
Oh, come on. Hypos has a moderate. Oh, no.
I have a
Serious.
serious wound.
only-
Look,
it's
it's
only
not
serious.
bad for me, but I was like, yeah, that does technically count.
Oh, new guy, you have a moderate wound. Are you taking that into account with your rolls?
Oh, you are correct. I did not. Oh.
Cheater! That's okay.
Nope. I would have used an analgesic spray.
Okay.
Speaking of analgesic spray, since I'm gonna approach Alici.
Yes, sorry, I was listening. I was typing something on my character sheet.
No worries. Alici, may I request you to do something a little bit unusual for me and my wife Zena?
I find unusual.
I believe you have the capacity to read mine. Is that a correct assumption?
Yes.
Which could be amplified with the Serigal.
Yes.
I'm gonna hope that Yorgu gets me the equipment that I need. However, I could still use your help. Given that we've worked together a lot, I've learned a lot about psionics despite not being able to use it myself, and I believe there is a medical application of your powers that could be at play here. My wife had convulsions for quite a while. It is possible that she has neurological damage. Machinery can tell me where this damage is. However, I believe that your mind reading abilities in psionics would also allow you to see those same blockages in a more real time manner. I would know exactly which part of the brain would be broken based on what you can and cannot access.
I mean, it's worth a shot, but if I recall, your people are a little resistant to psionics, aren't you?
This is Celise.
I thought.
Just the least.
No,
Of the
Asricians
Azrician.
can't be psionic,
Oh,
but
okay.
they
But
are
they're not
not
resistant.
resistant. No.
Okay, that's on me then.
Well, I mean, at least you could have been mistaken. That's fine.
That's true. She doesn't know that.
However, I understand that this is a large favor to ask for two reasons. Number one is you would potentially be browsing the brain of my wife under, of course, the idea of saving her life or serving her, helping me save her neurons. However, you would also see private matters probably that you don't have any interest in seeing or want to see at all. So I would understand if you would rather not.
Well, I mean, I am willing to try. I'll just not say anything if I do see anything. And I'll try not to.
Well, I would be happy to have you as a colleague in this endeavor as soon as I get my tools, which click. Yorgu, where are you?
So this is a rather long list. I am moving with speed and haste. I'll need at least another hour.
Perfect. In the meantime, then, that means we have several emergency surgery that I can do.
Step right up, step right up. I'm gonna cut you.
So, who wants to go first?
I feel like Elise should probably be the one without any negatives.
Yeah, I got 2 moderate wounds.
Perfect.
I kind of got shot up by the helicopter before I decided to pull through.
Let's open the book back to. Why is it not my favorite quick access?
Soldiery. Alright. 1 success per moderate wound.
So she needs 2 successes.
And since you're a miracle worker, they'll just be gone, not even light wound. Turn into
Yep.
grazes and fade away. Oh, what, incarnation? On Razik's screen, you can see the chat. How did I fuck that up? Oh, this isn't Razik's screen. Wrong one.
What? Oh,
All right, so I believe that emergency surgery, if I do them in 10 minutes, it's a minus something. I don't remember the exact
It
thing.
is a -2.
So,
Babe, are you warm? I am, like...
It's warm
I'm
in
gonna turn
here,
on the
yeah.
AC while you guys do these rolls. Be right back. Notice ever since you put the last...
perfect. Okay. So, I do not think that I would get any bonuses even if we're on the Involuker. So that would be a native +2 with a native -2, which would be a 0. So the first 10 minutes, you no longer have moderate wounds.
You just go ahead and nat 20 that. Gonna go ahead and make that a 0. Yay. He's so used to healing us, he just goes, and done.
That looks like a good roll.
Yeah, he nat 20'd it.
Ipoest, would you like me to take care of your wounds?
Yes, please.
You have, what do you have? You have one serious?
Let me check. One serious,
Two.
one moderate, and 2 light wounds.
Lights don't get treated by surgery.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
so I need 3 successes.
Yes.
Again with a -2. 16. Is that an stellar medicine? Yes. So you're clear. Your
Gain a
one,
light wound.
yeah, your one serious becomes a light if you have the space for it.
Mhm. I do. I have 3 light wound spaces.
Nice. You want to do Irene, even though she's not here?
Sure.
One moderate wound.
One success.
Yep.
We got it.
Okay. We'll,
And then Razik is gonna sit on the couch and do himself. I actually feel that was 30 minutes.
Dude,
Now
get a room.
40, 50. I'm good.
Okay.
So 15 minutes and everybody's clear.
Nice. Okay. Yorgu arrives with all of the lists, and he says, "You'd be surprised how difficult it is to move sensitive medical equipment in a walk-in-the-door fashion. However, I was able to find a rudimentary scanning device for her brain. Quite portable. I had to pay considerably, so I hope it wasn't a bad purchase."
Assuming I managed to save her brain, so to speak. No, not so to speak. Actual save her brain. Yes, I believe it would be an amazing purchase.
Well, she is not, in fact, catatonic. I think at this point she probably will have woken up.
We can
Unless
go
you
check on her.
don't want her to wake up. You can always, induce a coma. Keep her unconscious until you can figure out what's wrong with her.
Let's go see if she's awake, and if she's not, let's go. We'll scan, see if we need to do.
All right, she's still asleep.
Okay.
All right, yeah. So you use the scanning device. It's a pretty good picture. It's not perfect.
Yep. But there is damage.
Yeah, it definitely looks like something happened. Like she was damn near a stroke. Which means that she probably, since she didn't actually have a stroke, right? She probably doesn't have any permanent damage. So you could leave her alone and she will probably recover just fine.
Probably.
But there is the chance, obviously, that something won't heal right. It is the brain, after all. It's not something that normally needs to heal by itself.
Yep.
Well, if she was having a seizure, then there's a chance she got to breathe and brain damage.
Right.
scan indicates that so far it seems to be temporary, potentially temporary damage, which is better than permanent.
Yeah, it's
So
not
at
like
least,
you can just like highlight a part of her brain and then something will say permanent damage or temporary damage, just
yep.
damage. You know, like this part is yeah, something bad happened here. Yeah.
Can I roll a medicine check to pour into the books that I have on Azretians, which I'm assuming like the library back at the manor or here in the ship is probably like extensive since it's my own species, and try to see if I can find cases in those medical books that have similar damage and see what the outcome was. Essentially, like try to do a percentage chance of should I risk the operation right now or can I let her wake up and see how it goes and then do the operation later if needs be. Like, kind of weight my chances here.
Okay. Make a medicine check. No specialty, I think. I guess treatment would actually work. Yeah, go ahead and add your treatment.
Okay, perfect. So just a +1. Do you want to give me another +1 for the books or just straight up +1?
Just straight up +1. The books are why you can make the check.
And my technical bonus, would that apply?
Always.
+2. That's a stellar.
Okay. So there is a medication that for this type of brain injury that has like a really high, like 98% chance of keeping that, keeping permanent damage at bay. However, because of the way she overdosed, you can't prescribe her this medicine. It would be complicated. And leaving these injuries well enough alone, pretty decent odds, 60 to 70%, no permanent damage.
And the operation is always risky. Like, you don't have to tell me the percentage. I know that brain operations, like the second you put a knife in there, it's like you could cause several damage. So
Yeah.
probably not a good idea to operate.
And again, we're just doing this for narrative reasons. I am by no means a doctor. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. But what you can expect from this damage is pretty regular headaches, migraines, blurred vision, and potentially some memory loss. That should come back if she recovers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Razik is gonna kind of become a little bit more relieved at finding all this out, and like it's not that drastic. And even if she gets the damage, as you pointed out, like the symptoms are not life or death. Although migraines are really annoying for those
I
who
would
have.
argue they suck.
Oh, they absolutely suck. Like
I've had one migraine in my whole life, and I would be happy if it was the only one I ever had.
constant migraines are like a real pain, and yeah. Anyway, not to make a play on word, they are painful,
The
and
blurry
Yeah,
vision
earlier.
also sucks.
hopefully she doesn't get that. Percentage of prognostic is pretty good, so I'm gonna tell Yorgu that she might be in the clear. The operation, it would be more risk than let her wake up on her own and seeing how she behaves afterwards. I'm gonna thank him for the work of getting all the tools. They might still be required, so I would stock them up inside the manor in case things turn worse.
Okay, so you're not going to commit to any surgery. Okay. So we're going to
Not yet,
relocate
no.
her back to the manor and let her rest.
After all this, just to be safe, to be a rest. However, there's going to be one more discussion to be had with Yorgu, and it's the medication that caused this.
I assume we can like transition you guys back to the manor, and the same group of people are there, but there's less impetus. It's a little more relaxed. She's lying down in bed and resting, and then yeah, you have a chance to speak with Yorgu.
So I believe that at this point she might be somewhat addicted to these.
That's fair to say, Master.
And cutting her off 100% clean could cause more damage both to her state, like her mental well-being, as well as her physical well-being. However, I don't think she'll be the one. She'll want me to be the one telling her to wean off, so to speak. I'm sorry to ask this from you. I know that you're the caretaker of the family, but it's a large favor to ask from you. But do you think you have enough sway with her to maybe talk to her about the situation and the fact that she needs to wean off of these meds?
I can approach her as a friend, but well, I'm sure you know, Xena is a uh, stubborn
A fierce.
woman. Yes, fierce, and not sure if I could hold any significant influence over her choices. Now, perhaps this was a wake-up call, and it won't be needed, and she'll be able to self-regulate with my aid. But I understand that the situation between you has turned sour, but you are a doctor, or at least were a doctor, unless you got a license on a different planet. But you are professional.
Yes.
Don't you think you could better explain her situation? The steps she could take to avoid further complications.
Oh yeah, she's gonna listen to Razik.
I would be all for being the one helping her through this episode, especially after being absent for so long. It would be great for me to take the role of the support husband that I used to be, which somehow I lost along the way, but I'm hoping to get it back eventually. Um, but the problem is as you possibly know, is I'm not sure I'll be able to get a word in between the fact that she might be throwing books and plates and whatnot at my face, but I can definitely try. I mean, if she'll have me, if
No, no,
she'll
no.
listen to me, I'll
You're
be by her
quite right.
side.
You're quite right. I shall explain the situation to her. And yawn.
I could. I'll try. I'll try the first.
No, no,
Once
no,
she
no, no,
wakes
no.
up,
Now that you've spoken, I see very plainly. You should probably distance yourself from this. I will let her know what you did to help her. Wishes to make contact, you will. For now,
very well.
I will do my best to assert some measure of. Well, I'll try to help her out.
Yes. And if she wakes up with headache, blurred vision, so on and so forth, here are the things that she can take that should be safe for her. We should already have that in stock in the manor.
Excellent. Master Razik, I hope this is not the last time we meet. I do not know what your adventures have gotten you into, but it sounds. And he looks past you to your two companions on the other side of the room. Seems dangerous. Wish you the best of luck in whatever may befall you. And see you again, Master. Is there anything I could do for you before you go?
Not yet. I'm not quite ready yet. Could
Very
I
well.
borrow? Could
What?
I borrow the office?
Of course. Although you probably shouldn't be here when she awakens.
It shouldn't take me very long.
Of course. If you excuse me, I need to see if I can sell a gently used CAT scan machine.
I would. I would hold on to it for a couple more days just in case there are damages. I might need it again.
Ah, yes, very well, very well.
Just store it in one of the empty rooms where we stored everything. I'm not sure if there's still one. I haven't been in here for like 2 years now. Damn. But
Oh, no, still there.
yes, the room.
I have a junk room. Not a junk drawer, a junk room. It's where you find the batteries and
So
extra flashlights.
so Razik would ask the crew if they want, they can stay around and enjoy the manor and the accommodations. But he's gonna need like probably 30 minutes to an hour to himself to do something very quickly.
Okay, yeah. I mean, we're not gonna leave you alone here. I think people are out to kill us. I think.
Yep. Although we dealt with them and we crashed an helicopter, so maybe they'll think twice before attacking again. Like they'll come with a mech or an actual spaceship or something.
That's not comforting.
All right.
Yeah,
So in order to
uh,
expedite uh, a progression of time, we cut to a scene of Razik and a police officer, and the Israeli police officer cocks his head to the side, looking down at his notepad. And he's like, "Okay, so explain to me again how the aircraft came crashing through the window." And Razik goes, "Ugh," and cut back. What did you want to use the office for, Razik?
So Razik would take the time to actually handcraft a letter using a paper that he would have asked Yorgu to eventually go purchase during the little hour that he would take, and it's a paper that has sentimental significance because it was the letters that the same paper perfumed the same way that he used to send to Xena when they were pen pals at university. Like, when they couldn't see each other, he would jokingly write her a letter. She would write a letter back, and he would write a letter every time they couldn't see each other.
Okay.
And he would use the same paper to write a letter, which I will keep secret. It's written, it's right next on my screen, right next to me. But I'm going to keep it hidden for now until Xena actually reads it. And once she does, I'll read the letter.
Okay. You really are building that up. I just hope you know that.
Yep. It's
All right.
not that great. Like, I worked a lot. Like, I worked 3 days on it, but it's not like it just, it's a small
I
thing.
love it. I love it.
I love it. I'm upset.
absolutely
I'm
love
gonna
it.
cry. I love it.
No, not gonna lie, I had to
He's
tell.
gonna make us ruin our makeup.
I had to tell someone, and I told Vegas. I legit, I got into Rizik's mindset so hard that I actually had trouble writing this letter. Like at some point, it was just too much. I had to step away and come back. And it's an imaginary persona with an
Okay.
imaginary wife played by Jaken.
I need you to reel it back so that the audience doesn't get their expectations set too high on this mystery letter. So letter written.
Yep. And
How you
he's,
said letter rip.
and
Letter
he's
rip.
gonna and he's gonna sign the divorce paper and leave them with the letter on top.
God, you bastard.
All
We
right.
better be invited to the vow renewal.
My Polish demands to be a best man.
I am the man of honor. Thank you very much.
Heinz is like, ah. All right, are you guys heading back to the Involucre?
At this point, yes. Once Razik has dealt with this hiccup in his life.
Okay, after going back and forth between the Involucre and the Manor, it's like we're playing. I'm still playing Technomancer. Just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. All right, so you guys are back on the Involucre. Oh, and when you guys enter, Irene will be like, "Hey, so like the authorities are like charging us some
With
fees for the damages, which is like
charging
bullshit."
us money.
Anyway, I put it on the table in the lounge if you want to throw it away yourself.
Yeah, I mean, they can try, but do I look like I have a bank account?
I mean, your last name has a bank account. I know you don't have access to it, but
Ah, yes,
Yeah,
the
they can-
Sanguilin slush fund.
They can send that letter to the Sanguilin and see what response they get.
Well-
But that does sound like we should be leaving.
I would agree. But however, I'm in disagreement that we should be paying any of those damage fees. We didn't cause any damage per se.
Well,
Yeah, they attacked us. Hell.
Zeke, when you pick up the bill and the fee, you look over and it is a judge saying, after reviewing eyewitness testimony and security camera footage, we have deemed that despite the fact that you were acting in the line of
Defending
self-defense,
Mm-hmm.
the damage that was inflicted towards this end constitutes above and beyond the
use of excessive force.
yeah, this constitutes above and beyond the expected or due use of force in self-defense, and therefore we have found you. Although you are not liable for the violent action that took place, you are liable for damages to the sum of and a lot of fucking money.
Man, their adjusters are fast.
And Ezekiel,
Doesn't
can we send payment in the form of a gently used CAT scan machine?
It's like, does the Involucre look like it has that kind of money?
Yeah, actually, the Invincible is a yacht
Oh,
with
yeah.
stealth systems upgraded onto it.
That's
You
right.
guys look
Yeah.
rich as fuck wherever you go.
Yeah.
I just imagine Elise on the bow of a yacht being like, "Do I look like I have money?"
This is my only yacht.
Well, I mean, to be fair, they don't know it's a stolen yacht, so
Yeah, exactly. She's like, we only have one. It's not even the newest model.
And it's not.
The
And it's
newest-
so small. It only has
the
room for
newest
4
model-
people.
yeah, I know.
The newest model comes with cup holders.
And it tells
That are-
time.
That
Yeah,
are
that sounds
heated so you can make sure that your coffee stays at perfect temperature.
So Rizik's gonna look at the bill and he's gonna pay attention, especially like to who it is targeted. I'm assuming like it's targeted to the entire crew.
Yeah, the crew of the Involucre. And it. Hypos, did you use your real name when you registered docking, or did you use that one name?
Cucumber.
Yeah.
Oh yes, Cucumber.
Technically, the full name is Quentin Q. Cumber.
Yes.
Last name.
Did you use
last
Did you
name
use
Cumber.
that alias?
Normally, the alias Quentin Q. Cumber is the alias I use under torture, but like I feel like because we were arriving and asking for a favor from Rizik's wife, I wouldn't have used an alias. Normally, I would. Under the circumstances, we were showing up as ourselves. So no.
In that case, it's like, well, it's just sanguine in there. Let's just send it to your parents and see what they do.
Nah, not before we ask the favor. um, what's the due date?
Payable on receipt.
I mean, we could just throw it away. The government literally cannot stop us.
Well, I mean they might try, but
No, they can't
Yeah.
stop me from throwing it away.
fair enough. But I mean, I'll probably have to deal with it if I come back here.
Sounds like a future Zeke problem.
I agree. I owe you to future myself.
Okay, so you're just gonna file
Toss
that
it.
away under maybe we might pay it someday, probably not.
Oh no, toss it.
No,
They'll
Rizik.
send another one if they mean it.
Rizik would not toss it. Rizik would put it in his own file simply because he's afraid it might bounce back to his fucking wife again,
Okay,
and that would
I'm
be a
gonna-
big problem.
are you guys taking off?
Yeah.
All right. Lisi, where are you?
Probably in her room.
Okay. Door open, door closed?
It's unlocked, so people just walk in. She didn't care.
Well, I doubt Nolser Becken would just walk in on you.
Well, you can knock.
Hmm. What I had
Or maybe
planned
she-
doesn't really make sense. It was more like an in-passing thing, but that's okay.
Maybe she hears like maybe he passes by, like like normally he doesn't pass us by, but she hears like his boots.
He's walking
And, like,
back and
pong,
forth, and I'm
pong,
like, what do you want?
No, that's fine. Where's Razik? We know where Hypos is. He's flying the ship.
Razik is using the guise of reorganizing the med bay as he usually does, but this time he's not actually doing that. He's
That
sitting on
bastard's
one of the chairs.
Netflix.
No, he's sitting on one of the chairs and he's just like thinking back all that he's done, all that's led to this moment where like he's sitting on this chair now, all the mistakes, because it's pretty much all mistakes from point, like, since he left his wife, that's mistakes after mistakes after mistakes that led to great things, such as meeting the crew, but it's always mistakes to mistakes to mistakes. And he contemplates everything, and just before the camera fades away from his face, his eyes like are looking at the medication cabinet, and like there's an eye that kind of says like, maybe I could dull the pain, and then like fades.
Ooh, okay. Meanwhile, in the lounge, Heinz is looking at the chore wheel, going, "No, not again!"
We actually fixed it this time, so
Sure, Irene did.
No, Irene fixed it. As in, Irene fixed it.
Yeah.
Fixed in every sense of the word.
Okay, well, someone's gonna have to toss old GM Jake in a bone here, because it sounds like everybody's off on their
Xena
own.
could wake up and read the letter.
Look, feel like that one, that's an indecision thing, but also like I am flying the ship. Where are we going, y'all?
Well, currently
I
you're going
believe
to
the next
orbit.
episode will.
I thought we were going to your family next.
Ugh. So I guess I could set a course.
I mean, at least he's not going to spend the whole time in her room. She will eventually come out. In fact, if we're going to see Hypo's parents, she's going to go find Hypoist.
Yeah. That's the announcement, like, next stop, Sanguine household.
What planet is?
Bet it's even fancier than Mazique's.
Oh Jesus, by a long shot.
Oh, you know there are like gardens and shit too.
Each room has a balcony with its own personal pool.
Ooh, I didn't. System. Oopsie. System notes. That's okay. I'll have to look up my not in Foundry BTT notes, which I have. Yeah, all right. So you head up to the bridge.
We could like kind of sit in the co-pilot seat and turn towards Hypoist, like, "How you doing?"
I mean, I'm okay. We just watched Razik's wife nearly die. That was a little heavy.
I meant about where we're going.
Yeah, I was kind of getting to it. Do you feel like asking them is really necessary? Because I feel like we know what the answer's gonna be. But Mom did send Cole.
Not actually in the scene, but right now in my brain I hear Razik from the deep of the ship. I went through hell. You're going through hell too.
Yeah, like, is there any chance at all that we will get the help we need in this situation? No. But like we have to try, you know?
Yeah.
So do you want to kind of like join me in this space
Okay.
to troubleshoot the plan? Like exactly I feel like if Irene just the response to Jacob real fast. I feel like Irene showing up would only be a catalyst for more trouble.
Right. The question stands.
I think Hypoes would know if we are trying to ask my parents for a favor.
Right.
Having
So the question for
person
the
who would
audience is,
trick me out.
I'm asking if Hypost would want Irene available when meeting her family, because Irene and Hypost have the most history out of the four. Because obviously Irene isn't here.
I feel like the issue, right? Hypoes would not want to bring Irene because it's like, oh man, if we bring Irene, there's no point even asking. It's just to show up and be like, hey, I'm running off with my queer platonic partner. And Irene would want to go. I feel like. assuming for Vegas. I feel like Irene would want to be like, yeah, I'm going. What do you mean I'm staying on the ship?
Right. Okay.
But I think Hypo West would want to be like, oh, no, honey, stay here. You and my
Okay,
parents
cool.
always fight.
Salt in the wound.
Never met, but yeah, definitely would. Okay. Man,
But
oh, that should be enough. Okay, so next stop, IDAS system.
yeah. And well, I wanted to kind of clarify the thing, because it has been a while. The thing we are asking of my parents is both either or and ships to get troops around, because we're gonna need that. We can only translocate so many.
And the idea to translocate troops is dangerous in itself.
Incredibly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not something we don't want to make another planet go bye-bye.
Right. How much would Hypoist know about the military aspect of the Fair Star oligarchy?
I like to imagine a bit.
Okay.
Just like as far as like my culture training, my mindset was like he was kind of like a little guy in oh gosh, what is I just blinked, that school
ROTC?
for Marines. The fancy one.
Yeah, West Point, is that Marines?
I think so. Anyway, he was kind of like a West Point type candidate, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're taking classes on how to be a good soldier boy,
Okay.
hence the gun training, and then he was like, I'm gonna be an anarchist now. So he would know a bit.
Okay. Then you know that the Fair Star oligarchy, each major house has their own little private fleet. We've already encountered House Senguin private ships. There's the one you guys stole, the Involuker. And then there was that other one that you encountered Uncle on. So they have their own private fleets, but these are typically small and not enough to field in combat. So the bulk of the space-faring military used by the Fair Star oligarchy are deniable privateers, which are functionally mercenaries, right? But they're a little more loyal than mercenaries. They're deniable pirates, basically.
It wasn't us.
It wasn't us. It was those pirates. Those pirates that, have all our money.
That super efficiently destroyed like a super fleet without doing, special raids. Pirates that are so organized.
So like I think mostly
I just remembered that I was hired by Hypo's parents.
Yes.
It's gonna be fun.
Yes.
Yeah. And
the chickens
Elise
are coming home to roost.
Elise was hired by Hypo's parents to find Hypoest, but also Hypoest was made radical because Irene had gone to the Fair Star oligarchy fleeing the Sphere Mandate because of that weapon she had, and then they left together after that. So it'll be a real interesting run.
Okay.
The only person my parents can like is Razik, and we've seen how he handles that.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Because they use privateers, and this is not like public knowledge. They don't advertise, oh yeah, we have the largest privateer navy. They're actually probably the most likely to engage in a hostile action against one of the major powers. Is that coming up on the mic? Good.
No.
Because it just seems a little loud.
Louis is not coming up on the mic.
Ugh. Good show.
Good show.
And well, so like mainly what I was asking, right, is like from what I remember, the Fair Star oligarchy makes quite a bit of money in the manufacturing of vessels.
Yes, but they don't like pump out military ships off the line. But they a lot of the ships in the entire Fire Expanse are made by the oligarchy. Yes, they are the premier shipbuilders outside of the two superpowers.
Because we don't like it's we could use definitely having the privateer fleet and like knowing about that is helpful. But I thought part of the mindset behind going to them was because we specifically need space vehicles to move things from one side to the other. Not necessarily incredible military vehicles, because we're not going to try to engage in like space combat with that particular fleet, but at least it's some space yachts to drag people from point A to B. Unless we are going to go with someone else for that plan.
Sure. I mean, you gotta take what you can get at this point.
And then the other question is, yeah, like actual military support in the form of either a privateer fleet or, you know, some sort of aid. Maybe a new dope plug-in, like some neons for the Involucre. Or some fat rims.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Mm-hmm.
think that's the plan, right, Irene? Or not Irene, right, Elise?
Yeah.
Is there anything else I'm forgetting that we might possibly be asking for? I'm a little anxious.
I mean, we could just try and point out like we'd be forcing the Sojourn out of a planet, probably hurt them.
Well, actually, I mean, forcing them out of a solar system.
Yeah.
Elixir is really the only planet worth having in the
Yeah.
POTUS system.
Pushing them out of the system, saving the world, makes, if it goes well, you can claim credit and it makes you look dope. If it doesn't go well, oh no, the privateers, those rascals.
Those rapscallions.
I guess they went in with the wrong crew. That's what happens when you try to be an anarchy. So I guess that is a leverage we could use. I don't know what we can offer to these people. Not me, clearly.
Yeah.
You're just gonna have to appeal to the situation. Just,
Yeah.
good luck. All right.
I mean, I think that telling him that forcing the Sojourn of system potentially Sojourn for good.
You're cutting out some, but I think I caught what you meant.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
actually,
that's
I know this map isn't up to date for y'all, as with current events. Update. The Haku system is in complete control of the Sphere Mandate.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, this was actually missed in the recap. The Saldrosi Empire is already on the back foot. They've withdrawn from the Wild Cluster. They're trying to secure the gaps, which they're unopposed effectively because they control Nikipi, which is the only planet of like substance in the whole of the gaps. So they have the gaps themselves. They lost the system of Haku, and yeah, they're on the back foot right now.
Yeah, I mean, so it's the perfect time to take a system from them.
To strike while the iron is hot.
Yes. So yeah, I don't know how to feel. I don't like hopeful isn't the word I would use. We have some, persuasive arguments, but are the people we're talking to inclined to believe and or listen to us? Not exceptionally.
Well,
your uncle might be. We did kind of save his life.
We did also nearly kill him.
Kind of.
You saved his life after beating the shit out of him.
I didn't kill him though.
Yeah. Okay.
I did heal him.
Yeah, we'll have a Razik talk to him.
He was the captain of the FOS Sanguilin Alpha. Don't know what happened to that ship. Okay. So, in keeping with Hypoist, I tried to have all your siblings be named after, like, flower stuff.
Uh-huh.
And your older sister's name
is
Assista. Yeah.
Proud of that one?
No.
Because it kind of sounds like the opposite.
That's why I'm getting in front of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good name.
Yeah, she's Assista.
There's not a good way to like change the pronunciation either. Like looking at it.
No, it's literally Assista. Yeah.
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 she's uh a pretty high bar.
Yeah.
That'll go well.
Okay. So, you guys arrive at the IDAS system. Your family and the seat of power for the Fairstar oligarchy is out of the planet Thoi. That is Thoy. That's not how you type a T. There you go. Thoi. So you guys set a course for that. Now, obviously, on approach to Thoi, you're going to have to announce yourself to the flight control. And Thoi is a planet with a very large orbital. It has kind of like this wide-spaced, honeycomb-like orbital that surrounds the planet. Because again, the Fairstar oligarchy are shipbuilders in the large scheme of things. So this, again, it's kind of like hexagonal, large. I mean, like there's a lot of gaps and there's a lot of empty space, right? But just imagine like this hexagonal cage around the planet, and that's kind of what it looks like. And these of course are the shipyards where they build all their ships, and they do that in lieu of like your standard space station. They just built around the planet like this. It also helps serve to be an incredibly efficient planetary defense network, especially since every ship will have to pass through the lateral axis of these hexagons, which means they can install directional sensors, which are much more effective than just kind of like a broadcast one. Which means even if you had the Involucre in stealth mode, they would detect.
Yeah.
And they'd probably be able to scan the exact dimensions of your ship. And yeah, so you will have to announce yourself. There's no way around it, right?
Yeah. And well, I think like kind of same thing as last time, right? We're here to ask for something.
Mm-hmm.
I can almost imagine iPod going like Quentin Cucumber, and the system just go like, no, your real name. It's like fuck.
It's Quentin Cumber, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Um
Quentin Cumber. It's like, this is
Yeah.
the Involucre. We know who it is.
but also like yeah, it feels like if we're coming in to ask a huge ass favor, I'm going to put my real name down.
Okay, so you're
Like
like
I'm
this
not
is
going to write Mickey Mouse on the contract.
sure. So you're like this is Hyposanguine requesting docking.
Yeah, second child of the
Yeah, of House Sanguilin.
House Anglin.
To your surprise, they just give you landing coordinates for your family's residential complex.
Oh, great. Now my mom's going to be like, well, 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 you finally come crawling back. I just know it. I know she's going to be, my dad's going to be like, see, you've learned the error of your ways. I was just like you once as a teen, rebellious. And it's going to be a whole thing. And then I have to be like, no, I'm not here for that, Dad. And no, we're not alike. You would never understand me.
And then your uncle will stand up, push a chair aside, and he's gonna say you, and then you're gonna hear ta 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 Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, yeah. And then we'll fist fight, which that'll be great. I've gotten really good at
Yeah,
that.
I don't like his chances. Poor Peric. All right, so yeah, you head down to the planet, and yeah, so there's this the Sanguilin residential complex. It is a futuristic castle, basically, right? It's this massive thing built into the side of the mountain with multiple landing pads, and built into the mountain beside it is this huge multi-story hangar where the ships they personally command, like the Sanguilin Alpha, would, if it were still in their possession. I'm pretty sure the Common Revolution ended up with that.
Yeah.
So that's somewhere in the galaxy. Yeah, so these are these large hangars for larger vessels, and then the smaller vessels like the Involucre have these outdoor landing pads. And
We
when you
should
touch,
steal that back.
A multi-car garage that you see the fancy people have.
yes. In fact, there's probably like the bottom
A
layer
lift?
of that flight deck is probably like their sky car. You know, where
You
it's
know
all
what I'm
like,
also picturing now? That the Carvana tower.
yeah. Well,
The
no,
elevator.
Yeah.
Like picks them up.
but there's definitely a space Bugatti in the air car no deck. Anyway, you fly in and immediately like 3 maintenance crew guys go to work filling up the Involucre and all that. Irene will stay behind. Are you taking the whole 3 of you, or just is this the Hypoist solo act?
I feel like Elise coming in is probably also a bad look. I just
Yeah,
love the
I think
idea.
Alicia owes them money.
I just love the idea of us parking.
I mean, technically, I brought Hypoist back.
Yeah, I did it.
Eventually.
Pay me.
I love the
I'm not
idea we
asking
park.
payment because I'm like way overdue. But
They start
Here he is.
fueling. They
I
start
got lost
fueling
in
up the
middle,
ship.
Okay, not my fault.
They start fueling up the ship, and I'm like, I just knew you'd do some bullshit like this. Like, furious. What the fuck? Anyway, yeah, it's gonna be the Hypoest solo train, because Elise would put her paw in it, and Rizik has no business.
Okay.
I mean, Razik, the only business is, and if you needed him along with you, would say like, I don't mind using that as an excuse, but I would check up on your uncle if he's there.
Yeah, no, it
might
would be
want- you-
weird if
Yeah, you might want to take the temperature of the situation before you go waltzing around the complex looking for someone that last time you saw him you beat the shit out of.
it would be weird if you walked in and you're like, "Hey, how's your
Inside
uncle?"
the ship and look at all the other fancier ships.
And you
Okay.
look, yeah, stay
Solo
no,
act.
no, stay here.
Okay.
I don't ask
We're
for
gonna
much.
stay inside the Involucre and look out the windows and go, ooh.
All right. So Hypoist, you start on the open air catwalk towards the complex proper, and there's the entrance door, which is this double door that whooshes open, and just within the threshold is your younger brother Paris.
Have I seen him since I left? I don't think so.
No, you haven't seen any of it. Well, you've seen Peric.
yeah.
Yeah.
So now I'm all I'm crispy,
And Paris
no hair.
is like a teenager. By modern
Yeah.
equivalents, he'd be a high schooler. But he is the child of an oligarch, which means he is already taking on responsibilities and learning the ropes of how the family does things. Because even though he's not the heir apparent, he is still a member of the family, and the whole family works for the house in some capacity.
Yeah.
He is in what the oligarchy calls like a dress uniform, right? It's like a suit, effectively.
Yeah.
It's kind of like green, dark green, to contrast with the bright skin of the Solis. And it's got like golden trims and kind of like comes down like that, making squares. And then there's like wing-like frills on the shoulders. And he looks really nervous as you approach.
Hey, buddy. Also, I did not wear my power armor.
Okay, yeah.
I just
in street clothes, yeah.
well, I wear the closest thing to street clothes I have, which still is some armor, but like I'm not gonna walk in the little suit like, bzz, 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 what's up?
Okay, I mean, weird shots fired against Commander Shepard, but okay.
I mean, Commander Shepard deserves it.
Plus, it's his favorite store in the Citadel. All right. Okay. So yeah, you approach, and he's just kind of like gives you this awkward smile and says, "Hey, Hypoist, long time no see."
Oh, good, you recognize me. You didn't look super excited, so I was worried you couldn't tell who I am.
Only been like 2 years.
He does.
Yeah.
He also shaved his head.
I shaved my head, my face is burned. I'm like, I've nearly
Covered in
died multiple
scars.
times. I've broken my
Whereas
nose
your
like
brother
3
is
times.
like clean shaven, immaculate hair, probably gelled up, you know.
I've got the goatee now too.
Oh yeah, okay.
I look like alternate evil dimension Hypoist. Like that Community skit. Anyway,
Darkest timeline.
yeah.
Actually, the Sanguilans probably wouldn't gel their hair because they probably have quite wiry hair. Now I remember.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kinky coily.
Yeah. So he just has a low cut, you know.
Yeah. Real trim.
Real trim.
Mom and dad around or
Well, father's in the construct and kind of looks up, but mother is waiting for you to study.
I figured she would be. Thanks, kiddo.
Yeah. Uh. Why are you here?
Oh, I guess you hadn't heard about it. It's the end of the world. We're gathering some forces. I'm kind of like a big deal. That was a joke. My friends are big deals, and I'm kind of like driving them around. But you know, it's the end of the world.
Oh, it's our chauffeur.
There's some political stuff happening. Remind me to tell you about it because we saw this really intense, like ruin with some like a psionic worm and this ancient race of warrior people. The remainder of the Star Keepers are gathering forces to make a final move.
Okay, just go tell mom.
Yeah. I mean, I will catch up later.
Ugh.
Walking away like, sheesh.
He just kind of like follows you with his gaze, for as long as you can feel it on the back of your head, and yeah. You pass by a pair of cousins chatting in the hall, and they get quiet when you approach and watch you as you walk past.
Yeah.
You recognize that one of them is Peric's oldest son, and the other one is another cousin, probably from your mom's side.
Hey, how's your dad?
They don't respond; they just look at you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now your mother comes from another house, so yeah, that cousin wouldn't be of House Sanguil, and that would be of House Fidenor.
Yeah.
All right. So eventually, you make your way through these huge halls with towering windows, right? And it's like real castle vibes, just these of like late medieval, early Renaissance kind of era, right? Of just these high vaulted ceilings with golden arches and huge that look like glass windows with golden frames, but obviously they're not glass. They're something much stronger. And eventually make your way into the study. And in the study there is this fireplace and a lot of dark maroon velvet all around on the furniture and cushions and a matching carpet. And there are bookshelves that have physical books made of paper and electronic books where you open it and it's basically like a fancy future
Kindle Paperwhite.
Nook. Exactly.
Yeah.
And lounging as if it's just any other day is your mother Acantha, and she is in this matching maroon gown with golden trim, and her hair is always done up in elaborate ways, even if she's just wandering around the house that day. She's kind of got this beehive going with like glass butterfly kind of pins, and of course she looks immaculate to a T. Your mother was raised wealthy, likes being wealthy, has always been a part of the oligarchy her whole life, and basks in it.
Yeah.
And she looks up and turns her book over, holding her place on her thigh. She goes, "Ah, if it isn't my wayward eldest son."
Yeah, Mom. Jeez, you look like you've been slumming it. You doing okay?
Yep, the distractions have come. Look at your stickers.
Stickers. Wow. She should give Elena one for her bruises.
The audience doesn't know about her bruises, so now it just sounds like she's in an abusive relationship and I'm her husband.
She had a bruise on her arm from a thing, and it was just
she had blood drawn.
It was a whole thing, yeah.
Just throwing out
and
for her bruises.
And they can reposition them.
You got me? Can you go play in your room, bud? Thank you.
Hey, bud.
Anyway, hi mom. You look like you've been slumming it, bitch.
Mm. I could say the same to you, but mine would be less sarcastic. You
Oh
look
yeah,
rather wretched. Do you need a
it's
bath while you're here?
if you're offering. It isn't the first on my agenda of favors to ask. But
Oh, we have favors, do we?
I did want
She
to
reaches
ask.
over to the side table and plucks a bookmark and puts it in the book, closes it and puts it on the side table, and then straightens herself up.
Perfect. So have you heard about the Star Keepers? It's okay to say no.
No, I'm very aware of the Starkeepers, in their history and the fact that the last of them is traveling beside you. Though technically not the last, as her twin brother is residing somewhere in the Wild Cluster.
Yes. Thank you for sending Cole, by the way.
You learned about that, did you? Interesting.
Yes, don't get her into trouble. We're incredibly difficult to keep secrets around. What with all the snooping and chicanery. Um and then I don't want to get into it too much. I'm gonna just tell her from like point A to point B, all of the ducks and their
As
rows.
soon as you start talking, she's like, "Darling, it's adorable that you think I haven't been keeping tabs on you, but I know everything."
Oh, so that'll make it very easy. So the end of the world is coming. We're going to need to move such and such number of troops. So we're looking for some vehicles to make that happen. Now, as you know, the Sphere Mandate is, not the Sphere Mandate, the Saldrosi Empire has been pushed back. So this would be a good opportunity to clear them out of the Pelixin, etc., etc.
Well, I suppose you have earned it.
Um, Hyperwest like come sit on the end of her like little chase lounge, right? Be
Mhm.
like, Mom, I understand you don't want to help me. Wait a second.
Child, you've been You've been in. There's a word that I want to make with my mouth.
Instrumental.
Thank you. You've been instrumental in the war effort. You've done everything I wanted you to. You said you knew about Cole. Oh no. Well, this is awkward.
Oh no, I figured you'd put up a little bit of a fight.
But why?
For the charade. You love a show.
Oh, well, in that
I
case...
guess no one's watching.
In that case, allow me to tell my side of things since you want a show. You see, your escapades in the Wild Expanse have at first been a source of gossip among the oligarchs, nothing too detrimental. Everyone has rebellious children. But
Oh, come on, mine was at least a little bit cool, right?
after you brutalized your uncle Peric, I came upon an idea. She gets up and she starts heading over. Yes. She should have pajamas. There's plenty of pajamas. Yes, the nightgowns are all in the dryer. If they're dry, you can get them out of there. Sorry. Chaos.
It be like that.
It do be like that.
You said doobie. I'm so sorry. Mom says,
Yeah, she starts like looking at the books, very dramatic. And she says, "The war happened because you and your friends mucked up the works.
oh yeah.
It may surprise you to know that the Common Revolution may have thought they were ideological crusaders, but they were, in fact, entirely bankrolled by the Fair Star oligarchy. It's a substantial sum coming from this house. The plan to bomb the Haku summit was of our design. We wanted the Saldrosi Empire and the Sphere Mantic. And when the plan failed, the war started anyway, which was interesting. Nonetheless, you had proven that you had become a nuisance, and your father wanted to hire a legion of bounty hunters to bring your tiny hiney back home. But instead, I told him
say it
I would
shapely.
take care of it, and I hired a single bounty hunter. You know her. Her name was Cole. And I placed her to keep tabs on you to provide you with exciting ways you could help the cause. Every run-in you've had with Cole has been to get you to do what I want. And every single time you've done it flawlessly.
Well, thanks, Mom. It's the only thing you've ever been proud of me for.
Yes, you make an excellent pawn. But
Oh, so I'm right in line to replace Dad.
Oh, your sharp wit is always so amusing.
She doesn't sound like it.
So now you've come to me, at long last, looking to solve your problems, as I knew you would always would from the moment you stole our ship and gallivanted on your little expedition. And like I said, you've earned it. You were instrumental in helping us destabilize the war efforts in the Wild Cluster, eliminating the Blue Gaze. We had a hand in that, of course. Oh, and creating a drug pipeline of some rather horrible little serum into the Sphere Mandate. Just a little discord.
Oh, yeah, that was good.
So, you want ships to go fight the war?
You say you want a revolution. And some assistance, obviously.
Okay, well,
And a
You-
hot bath.
you know how things work in the Sanquillian family, so please sell your idea to me.
And also some upgrades to the Involucre. It's getting a little rusty.
Couldn't keep one ship in
Well,
line.
it's not literally rusty. It's doing quite well, and we've upgraded it. But it is not necessarily meant to be a combat vessel, and having some
If there was
more-
one lesson I'd hoped to instill in you, is that time is money. Now, quit with the chit chat and get down to brass tacks. Tell me what it is you need from me.
I already did. We need vessels to carry number of soldiers. Do the battle bots need to be carried?
Oh,
Okay, so then we also need vessels that will contain this many battle bots, and also money to buy another. Let's see, how many did he say he would give us?
like a lot, thousands. You know.
Yeah, okay. And we
Um.
want to triple that amount, but he's giving us a steep discount, and that is the Sanguilin way.
Oh, okay. Yes.
She's like, "Oh, you got a coupon." um
Do you cut it out of one of those magazines? No.
I know I'm slumming it. I'm getting discounts. Mom's horribly offended.
She actually cut the coupon out of one of the magazines in the medbay's weight room. The magazine is like years old, but somehow the coupon like is just expiring like in the couple next months.
I really want to see the magazine that has like the buy one battle bot get one free coupon.
Yeah, I want. It's probably from when the Thush cartel was just getting started.
Yeah. They had their Sears catalog of
We're getting that from the
skullduggery.
Thush cartel, although I'm sure you know.
Okay,
about
we're getting
that.
in the weeds. She says, okay, what you're asking for is an incredible investiture of assets, personnel, and of course, money.
Yes.
So if I'm going to invest in your little siege, what can I expect in return?
Well, the Saldrosi Empire out of the what's the system Polixen's
A
in?
POTUS.
A POTUS system. 4-1. And oh. What was I thinking? The Saldron Empire out of the Apoda system and pardon my tongue. And also the continued existence of the universe. As you know, you cannot make money without a universe and capitalism to sustain it. So that would be a pretty big one.
I can
My love and
hear-
affection for the first time.
I can hear the disdain in your voice for capitalism, and yet you're coming to me because only my capitalist empire has the resources necessary to do what you ask.
Oh yes, I forgot. I'm such a dummy. I use the iPhone, so I must not be a anarchist. Please. Anyway.
Man, the family suppers must be fun at that house.
Well, HyperWest hasn't been there for them, so that helped a lot. Spare me, Mom. I understand that you have disdain for me, but you did just say I was a pretty crucial little pawn at killing the things you need killed. I'm sure you can twist this in your favor so that you earn a lot more of that money that has replaced any of the familial affection you might have felt for anyone in this life.
All right, well, I will make you an offer.
Mm-hmm.
It's obvious that the Sojosi Empire has put their steel stamp down on the planet of Polixen, and once you liberate it, there will be transitions and debates and power vacuums.
Oh, you do love a power vacuum.
Of course.
Happy Mother's Day.
So,
I got you a power vacuum.
I got you a power vacuum.
I'm so sorry.
It really sucks. All right. Damn it, you're just full of quotes. Now I want to add Happy Mother's Day, I got you a power vacuum. Someone else could type it up. Okay. In order for the system to survive, it will need the backing of a formidable adversary. Now, the Sajosi Empire has lost a significant amount of their military assets in their war, so I want the Apoda system to be a protectorate of Fairstar oligarchy.
Mm. Oh, this is such horse piss. Okay.
Oh. See? You do see reason.
Well, it's either that or let the universe implode, and I'm a little more reasonable than you are because I'm not blinded by capitalism.
And another thing. When this is all done, I want the Involucre back.
Mm.
And then we can write your name out of the family book, stop trying to send you Christmas cards, cast you out into whatever abysmal little squat that you want to live in for the rest of your miserable life.
Aw. I knew you could see reason.
How does that sound?
Can we throw in a hot bath?
Well, it would be a mercy on the senses, so yes.
Nice. Elise!
Fuck this plumbing up.
All right, that sounds like a deal, Mom.
Very well. In that case, I assume we'll have free access to the Involucre to upgrade it to your specifications, as well as to make sure that our property returns home when this is all complete.
Yeah. Let me just check on some stuff.
And that upstart Exolvi woman, she won't cause any problems.
Not yet.
Okay, well, that'll be fun. I'll contact the engineers and they'll get down here right away. You know where the baths are.
Yes, I'll just grab my crew.
Yes, they're not allowed to eat anything. This is, for guests, not for squatters.
Oh, I was gonna say if you needed any medical attention for I think you've got a pimple, right? It's okay. Ruzik won't bother you at all. God, she's infuriating. Like marching out like, she's still so beautiful. It sucks.
All right. I'm gonna cut back to press, and Xena takes the letter. We'll read it.
Okay, don't get your hopes up. Please.
You've only
Just
hyped it to
read
the
it.
nines.
I know. To my dear Z, I would like to apologize for the way I treated you. You used to be the first thing I thought about in the morning, and the last thing I thought of before closing my eyes. Somehow, I lost track of what was important to me, and when I lost my career, I felt like I had lost a large piece of myself. The reason I left was to find a way to fill in all devouring void that I felt inside of me. The first couple of months, no matter how many people I helped, how many people I taught, or how many hours I spent out there trying to prove my worth to nobody but myself, the void wouldn't go away. Each night I still felt like I was half a man, even if that. When I met this crew, my crew, it was then that I started to realize that the void wasn't caused by my career or my title. My pride had blinded me to what was missing all this time: companionship. I found with them that the thing that was eating me from the inside was that I was missing you. And you asked, when you had the opportunity to come back, why didn't you? First, because I was a coward. I knew I had caused you heaps of trouble and couldn't bear to face the sadness, the betrayal, the anger that I'd get from you, all well deserved. Second, because I couldn't face myself either, in great part for what I had done to you, but also because of the consequences of my adventures with my crew. When I saw the threat of losing you, that's when I realized that it was you by my side I was missing, and that my career had made me lose you way before I lost my career. All of my own doing. And for all of that, I apologize, my love. I apologize for somehow forgetting about you on my prideful path to a career that ultimately meant nothing for me without you to share it with. I apologize for abandoning you instead of coming to you in my most dire moment. I apologize for somehow losing the Razik of yore, the one who supported you, cheered you on, and made you laugh while we grew up together, the one who was there when you lost Jem, the one who couldn't believe it when he saw you walking up the aisle as resplendent as the sun in the sky, the one who held you as the center of his world. I suppose I was right in thinking you were too good for me then. I managed to prove it, haven't I? But I'm done running from myself, from you, and from the consequences of my actions. I want to be the Zeke you knew and loved, not the Zeke that I was at the end of my career. And that Zeke, he'd want nothing more but to see you happy, and nothing else would matter. For this reason, you'll find the divorce papers signed, for it is, if it is what it will make you happy, it will ultimately make me happy too, even if I can't see it right now. And finally, I'll be headed out with my crew again, hopefully for one last penultimate adventure. But this one is both for you and me. I may not be able to go back to the life we had together, and that is a well deserved fate. And it is probably safer for you. But I couldn't live in a world without you in it, together or not. So, for my sake as well as yours, I'm going to try and save the fire expense so that I can save you, and hopefully through that, save myself, even if it's just a little. It was nice seeing you one last time despite the circumstances. If I succeed and somehow make it back, I hope that you'll give me the opportunity to repair the damage I have done to the life we had. Otherwise, knowing that I saved you will have to do. Oh, and one last apology for being a coward one last time and writing you a letter instead of saying this directly to you. I suppose I'm not done facing my demons yet, and you know I've always been a better writer than a talker. With love, your Zeke.
All right. And at that, we're going to go to our break. We'll be back at 15 after for another hour 45. Well, hopefully. There is a stopping point tonight, and if we hit it, we'll stop. So, up to an hour and 45 minutes more of Die Roll Lost Horizon. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon. Hello, everybody. We're back. Well, most of us, anyway. Yeah. So, that was a good letter, Razik.
Thank you.
Thumbs up. So, Elise and Razik, what are you guys doing on the Involucre while Hypoist is talking to his mother?
Looking out the main window at the other ships, being like, "Wow, this is nuts."
Rizik would probably be looking out the window at the building, you know, like see like is Ipo's gonna come back out? Are we gonna get arrested? Do we like what's up? You know, like just surveying the situation. But his attention is not fully on the building, and at least he can probably see Rizik every once in a while checking his comms. Like, is there a new message? Is there a new voicemail? Is there a new anything? Like, you know, because he assumes that Yorgu would have any updates on his wife, or his wife herself would have an update, if anything. So he's kind of anxious in that regard. Although he knows that with the planets being separated as they are, there might be like at least a couple of hours delay before a message being sent, a message being received, if not a couple of days even.
Yeah. Okay. Well, while you're waiting, Nulcer will approach Elise. Starkeeper.
Yes, no, sir.
When I approached you, I did not think we would be able to amass more than what was available on Guntoya. But now that it seems we have reached the end of our allies, we need to discuss with what we have how we can prevent the awakening of the fallen star. I believe it is time to take what forces we have and create a plan. Still
I
frozen.
agree.
Still frozen, new guy. Just a block of ice stuck to your spoon.
I would honestly think that our best option would be to take what we have, get straight to the Starkeeper fortress, and then just make a beeline directly for the object. Where
With the might that the Sadrosi Empire will be able to bring to bear in counterattack. Probably a one-way trip for us all.
I was prepared for that.
What about your companions?
They will have the option to stay behind if they so choose, but I'm going to go down there and do everything within my power to stop Caddy's hurt.
Yeah, it looks like Caddy.
Caddy got hurt.
You okay, hun? You're muted.
You're muted.
Yeah, I just hit my knee on my desk while I sat down.
Ah,
Nice.
I like kicked it upward and I was like, oh.
All right, well,
just
shortly
shoved
after
so
that
much food.
conversation... Wait, Hypost went and took a bath? Okay, so Hypost will arrive freshly bathed back at the Involucre. Just in time for a team of engineers to start swarming the ship.
I was like, do I smell lavender?
That tracks with Hypost, yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Mom didn't have the lemongrass, so I had to make do. I never stock it when I'm not around. This house is falling apart without me. Do any of y'all need a round
What?
in the bath? We can run some fresh water. I'm not an animal. Sorry, Alicia, I didn't mean it like that.
Damn.
Are you saying your parents want us to get clean?
Oh, it was part of the negotiation. But
Yeah.
we'll be getting some of those ships.
Wait, she agreed?
And some some soldiers. Just fix that after I kicked it.
Hey, son.
Well, now I
Can
regret
you close
talking
the
to
door?
my wife. You should have talked to my wife.
Oh,
You're
I
waiting for
feel
Grandma?
like the
Okay.
method of communication that happened just now would not have worked on your wife.
Mm.
I could communicate with her in another way.
Down hit post.
I
Like
don't
we
like
could
where this is going.
like we could both get our nails done, have a self-care day. She could really get her tears out, and then we could really ground, maybe do some meditation, maybe get some of our frustration out with some intense aerobic exercise.
I
think that'd bring
clearly
her
am not
around.
on your level because that's not where I thought the conversation was going.
Man, I hate
I'm just
iPost.
thinking mani pedis and nails.
Is he wrong?
I mean, no, but like,
It's the delivery, isn't
yeah, it's just the whole kit, you know.
it?
It's like not one little thing; it's the whole package.
I love having designed him in such a way as to bring you pain every time we play.
I feel that.
Next
I mean,
time I'll make someone really cool, I think.
I doubt it.
no.
Ow!
No, the character that I possess will be really cool. It will still be a pain on you, though.
Does iPost want to bring up anything discussed other than obviously the promise of troops and ships?
Not without Irene.
Curses.
Sorry, I'll talk about the. I also don't think on while we are currently here, he would tell them oh, and by the way, we have to get the Involucre back, but we probably won't. We can steal it probably.
Speaking of which, given that Razik is seeing a bunch of engineers starting to eye the ship and probably talk amongst each other in engineer speak that he's starting to understand, given he's got one rank in engineering.
Oh no, I mean they've already fully boarded the ship, and Irene is like, "What are you doing? Don't touch that! Stop!"
They're
that.
on the ship, but I'm going. We will talk about this in a second. They are adding some more guns to the ship so that we're ready to fly. I need to clean up my room.
And Razik's gonna be like, Irene, could I distract you with maybe I don't know your health exam or something like that? And Irene's probably glaring daggers and throwing a wrench.
Just sedate her, Razik.
I can't. She won't let me close.
You have all this practice with sedating people forcefully, and you can't hit Irene. She doesn't have hand to hand.
No, but she knows where to hit, where it hurts for me.
I won't say that because it would hurt you.
Okay, well, I'm
running to my room to grab
I
the
think
pieces.
we got our ships.
Oh, I'm running to the room to grab the pieces of the weapon that they are not supposed to know continues to exist, and also Irene is not supposed to know about.
Okay.
That is what I mean by I'm cleaning my room.
Yeah,
While
yeah.
I do that, I'm gonna throw a bunch of stuff around so that it's messy.
Okay. When you come out, one of the mechanics is like, "You
Good for me.
iPost?"
Yeah,
All right.
reporting for duty.
Mute.
Can't you
okay.
tell from my winsome charm?
Yeah, sure. So, what we're doing here is we're gonna retrofit the engines with new standards. We are completing a stealth system. You only had half of it installed. I don't know why. Anyway, we are increasing output to your main battery, and we are adding a tracking and automatic targeting system to your dorsal and ventral turrets, so that they can maybe operate from the bridge without a gunner. You know, your parents are paying for all this, so you know. Yeah. Anything else you think needs tuning up?
Yeah, we're only adding and no subtracting today. So that sounds great.
All right. Well, you guys probably want to get
Irene,
out of here.
keep
It's
on.
gonna be loud. It's gonna take a couple days, especially the engine retrofit.
Any
And
chance we can get that room turned into a full med bay instead of just a half?
oh jeez, he hits the button and the door opens. Oh my. Okay. Yeah. This is a disaster.
Hey,
Excuse
hey, hey,
me?
hey. We
And I know
effectively made it.
Oh, I don't mean no offense. I'm just saying from an engineering standpoint. What the hell? Yeah, we can do something about it.
Thanks. You know whose tab to put it on. Okay,
No.
guys, it's time for a bath. Irene, please stay and watch.
I, I think out of all of you, she's the one who's going to get the most in the way. So I think for my guys, you know, we got a lot of work to do. This is going to take like 2 or 3 days. Can she like not be here? That'd be ideal.
No, she is important to prevent you from adding anything that we didn't ask for. So,
Oh, I'm not doing what you want. I'm doing what your mom wanted. Here's the work order.
yeah, I thought you were gonna go over the med bay,
Yeah,
which is
I'm
also what
adding
we
that to
want.
the work order, but I'm starting from a
Yeah.
place where, you know, you're not paying for this. Your mother is. It's her ship legally, so like I'm telling you to buzz off so we can do our job.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Irene, I guess you're gonna come steal some stuff inside. Let's go.
That's none of my business. You guys do whatever you want. Get out of my hair, or this is gonna take twice as long. If we got some Exolvi being all holier than thou, or whatever the hell,
Hey,
messing.
hey, 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 hey. She is holier than thou.
Well, God bless, and we'll just keep doing our thing. You guys be somewhere else. Sound good? Great. So you guys can take over the guest wing of the complex.
I thought we were not guests.
Now you are.
Oh, okay. Mom had kind of conveyed that we should probably find a less conspicuous place to stay.
Oh, I mean, it's not going to be a restful 3 days. This is going to be like extremely hostile and tension filled. So you guys could totally, get some per diem and go stay in the city.
Yeah. Pack your bags.
Okay.
We're gonna go find not a nice hotel, but not a terrible one either.
We might only have terrible hotel money.
I don't know. You guys can probably afford a continental breakfast.
That's it, though.
Yeah.
And honestly, you
just-
could probably talk your way into putting it on your mom's tab somehow.
I'm just gonna shove those little tiny boxes of cereal in my pockets as we leave. That way I have them to snack on later. That's lunch.
Okay. So what do you guys do for the 3 days?
IPOS already told us we're getting ships, we're getting fighters. I'm assuming that like we're just gonna skip, but you're telling us like the approximate number that your mother
I
promised, so
assume
we
that
have
we're
an
gonna try
idea.
and come up with a battle plan.
We do need to do that. I want to convey to the Thush cartel that we will be purchasing more of the battle bots and then be around to pick them up at a certain time. That way that message has started to travel a little bit ahead of us.
Okay.
Yeah. We didn't have any other. This was our last stop in strings to pull land, right?
That we know so far.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Then I guess we could probably see about shopping for some equipment upgrades.
I don't think you're gonna find anything like meaningful mechanically
Okay.
within your price range.
I just want Irene to be able to give me one of those laser sights.
Weren't you?
I don't think I have space for the upgrades on my.
Didn't you guys get upgrades while on the?
You probably could have gotten it while we were back on the other planet. Whatever it's called.
No, I think I got a different upgrade. Maybe I did get the laser sight.
You got an armor upgrade instead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that was important.
Okay, so you guys just live it up in a hotel for 3 days.
Well, if we're talking battle plan based on the resource that we have, that could be something we could go over. At least not maybe not finalize it, but at least start forming an idea around the fact that we can't teleport an army.
I mean, look, we have a way to move the army now. Elise's commander, and we have a mini fridge in the hotel room on my mom's tab. If this was my tab, no touching the mini fridge. No, not even the water bottles. That's totally good too.
Well, as long
So-
as you guys get a psychic on Pelixin, it is possible for you to transport the Greth Hell.
Okay.
I mean that would be a huge. I mean, imagine 10,000 special forces guys just teleporting.
Yeah,
That would
my
be
big
a
thing,
major boon.
it would be.
Yeah.
My big concern with that is, the whole we could blow up that whole facility, and I'm not okay.
Oh no,
with
it
that.
will blow up the whole facility.
Yeah. See,
So if that's
yeah,
off the table, then you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
And also, I believe it kills the receiver.
Well, no, it doesn't kill
It
them
kills
in
them,
so much
yeah.
as the building they're in will explode.
Which will kill them, potentially.
No, not the receiver, the sender.
Sender,
The
yep.
sender.
Yeah. But it doesn't kill. The act of it doesn't kill them. The result of it,
Yeah.
I mean, everything around them will go up in flames. Not
But they might be fine.
not ideal for survivability.
So Razik would go over with Alicia again. The fallen star. It looks like a seed the way you described it. We need not to awaken it. Do we know exactly what awakens it?
I presume that the Starkeepers were keeping it in some kind of psionic sleep or something, which was keeping it from awakening. But I don't actually know. I've never even heard of the thing until
Okay, so
Until
we'll have
showed up.
to improv on the way there, what to do to make sure it doesn't awaken, and make sure that whatever we do does not awaken it.
I doubt there will be any resources on this planet that we can look into to try and do some research on what the seed is, considering no one has ever heard of it and no one believes us. But
Yeah.
Okay, so
I imagine using huge amounts of psionic power to teleport an army onto the planet would not be helpful.
probably not.
Okay, so then we have to use the ships of which we've already gotten and are going to use.
So okay, so let's say let's ignore all the red flags and let's just imagine a plan that works flawlessly, right? Just so we can reverse our engineer the way back from there. We fly all the way over Pollexton. We demolish any sort of stopping point in the space, and we start landing our army next to the temple. We go into the temple. We find the seed. What do we do?
I assume that the Saldran have not found this seed yet, so I'm hoping that there's something inside the room that'll give me a hint as to what I need to do to keep it sleeping.
Are you having this conversation with Hines and Nulcer?
Yeah, I imagine
why
we
not?
brought them along. They weren't allowed to stay on the ship.
Yeah.
Okay. Nulcer will say, personally, I was never told how to keep Fallen Star asleep. I hope that when Alicia arrives, what she needs to do will be self-evident. If not, this entire endeavor may be for nothing, in which case we're all doomed.
Well, once I'm in the area, I can
Thanks,
try and
Nulcer.
get a
That's
psychic
great.
reading and see if I could see some history in what happened there.
Okay, that's an idea. We have to get on the planet for that to happen.
Okay, so my next 2 points. I think I've already covered that in a previous conversation. Let's go over it again. This thing, if it awakens, can kill the entire universe, or at least the far expanse, as far as we're aware. The Starkeepers did not destroy it, which means that either it cannot be destroyed, or if you try to destroy it, it's going to activate and do what it's not supposed to do.
Well-
So bombing it is not an option. Like trying to nuke it from orbit is not an option. Now,
One of,
go ahead.
I was gonna say, one of the things I saw in my vision when you're going through that cave is that it can't be touched by psionics. So they did something, either with technology or I don't know what. And I don't know what
Very.
that means, but it can't be touched by psionics.
And historically, and he's gonna turn to both Elysia and Nuvskar, did the star ever get moved to that temple, or did it get there and then they build a temple around it? Historically.
Again, I do not have all this information. However, I am under the belief that the fortress was built on top of the fallen star.
Oh my god, I'll just carry it.
It is
Well, that
massive.
yeah. Not only is it massive, but my worry is that it can be touched by psionics, but I'm afraid that physical interactions with it might set it off. We don't know, but it's a consideration to be had.
Unfortunately, thanks to the thorough and savage cleansing done by the Saudrosi Empire, we are all operating under
We're all up a creek.
exactly.
Yes. Okay. So I'm thinking BattleBots can deal with the main Saldran force as we are approaching the planet, as far as keeping ships off of our tail on our approach. Then
Myself and the Rangers are intimately familiar with the layout of the fortress.
yes.
So we would be ideal for the assault.
So then we land on Polixen with the full army and the Rangers. The army of what's their face?
Gresh.
The Gresh?
Greshtel.
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 The army of the Greshtel holds things on the ground and provides cover. The Rangers and our crew head into the fortress so that the Rangers can guide Elise to the star. Elise uses psychic history to determine what can be done about the star. If nothing, we just need to take the planet. Then, lo and behold, we have done something about the star and we have time to figure out what to do with the star because we have the planet.
Well, we might not be able to take the whole planet with the army that we have, at least not for very long. At the best, I thought if your rangers have a familiar knowing of the inside of the temple, we could try to turn it into it is a fortress, but it could turn into our impromptu fortress.
Oh, it's not even an
Oh, yeah.
impromptu. It is it's
We're
a
taking
fortress.
over
It
it.
will be our
It will
fortress.
be ours.
The difficulty is, regardless of how many forces the oligarchy gives us, how many BattleBots we buy, including the Alucon soldiers of the Greshtel, and my small number of latent rangers. With all of that, if we do not control the orbit around the planet, then the Saldrosi will launch a counterattack, amassing their forces from within their empire, smash our fleet, and then land 1,000,000 warriors to wipe us all out.
Part of the reason that we are even able to
No,
approach Polixen is the fact that it's not a severely held planet, and the Seldrin are on the back foot.
We will have several days, but
Yes.
if we could somehow cause further chaos in the Saldrosi Empire,
I know how.
Well, so I was gonna get to that, but please, Ruzi, go ahead.
Just before I say what I'm about to say, I believe that Alisi had shared the entire vision, including the Citadel class ships.
I did see Citadel class ships in orbit around.
And
They
Rizik,
may provide enough of a defense.
Did you
For a
share that
brief period of
initially? Is
time.
what he's asking.
I did, yes.
Okay.
Rizik would say, I think the vision is saying that once we land on the planet, we need to attract the Citadel ships to Polixen. This is why they were there in your vision. We most likely had to call upon them, like baiting ourselves,
Or
so that
something we do with the star calls them to us.
yes,
There
and
is a black hole nearby.
they provide the orbital chaos needed for them to be unable to launch a counterattack.
Mm-hmm.
it's also conceivable that if whatever we do to the fallen star neutralizes it for the foreseeable for a long period of time, then we could of course retreat from the Apotus system and allow the Saldrosi Empire to retake it, having done what we
Yes.
came to do. That would not please our allies,
I
but it would save everyone's life.
frankly, I don't care what pleases our allies if we can save everyone's lives. And also, yes, by giving us time to figure out what to do with it, I meant we're not going to be able to do anything if we don't get inside of the building.
Last I posed, what were you saying about destabilizing this Eldrazi Empire? You said you had something, an idea, a thought.
Coordinating with allies, or not even allies, with people who are mutually enemies with the Saldran Empire.
That's what we're doing, yes.
Not necessarily to be present at Polixen, but to try and ensure that at the moment of our move in towards Polixen, which is not an obvious target by any means,
That they're
the
looking
Saldran
somewhere
Empire
else.
is occupied. Yes. Like, hypothetically, do you think we could attract a Citadel-class ship to the planet of Nikipi?
Again? Maybe. I don't know. The only reason we were able to make contact with it before is because we were near the what's
That
it called?
ruin, yeah.
Yeah.
Because you knocked on their front door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So their front
Oops.
door's near there. We don't have to be the ones to knock. We need to cause a knock with people who maybe would be willing to hop in, cause a knock, and hop out on a newly established Saldrin control with a controller, an officer in the area who has to prove himself capable of holding the area. Jagan is giving quite a look.
I see what you're saying. You're trying to get the Saldran, the Citadel ships to go to Nikipi so that what's his name has to deal with them.
Yes.
Which means he's gonna drag a bunch of resource from the Southern Empire over in that direction. At least the
Which
ones.
is the opposite side of the universe.
Especially because we know that the Saldran must have a route to Nikipi from their empire that no one else knows about. Because how else would they have gotten there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is assumed that there is an uncharted route. Yes.
So that requires us having a friend or ally in the area to knock on the front door, or us doing a lot of flying because we can't hyperwind safely.
Or teleportation.
I feel like teleportation is going to be one of those risky things that may or may not get the ship out in. So I feel like hyperwind is actually the safer option of the two in that situation.
Let me find another hyperwind and try and make contact.
No, the like controller isn't in the hyperwinds, right? I'm saying we have somebody who's psychic, like your brother, go knock on their door and flee.
That would be something.
I want to ding dong ditch the Citadel ships.
Yeah.
I want to ding dong ditch the scariest motherfuckers we've ever met.
Yes. But not me, someone else though.
Someone expendable.
I would, but I can't.
Literally can't, yeah.
Yeah, it's about a psychic use thing.
Did we find out that they use black holes?
Yeah.
Yes.
We know they use black holes to travel. Well,
No,
there's
okay.
a couple nearby.
For people who are just tuning in, they don't travel through black holes.
True. They use them somehow.
The hyperwinds exit point towards black holes. So they use the black holes to chart courses through the hyperwinds, which are otherwise you can't navigate a hyperwind. But they have found a way using black holes to navigate hyperwinds. They don't use black holes to travel.
Right.
That'd be like saying a ship uses a rock to sail.
You're fair. Okay.
We don't want them popping out over here. We want them
Yeah, I
popping
know.
out far away.
I was saying there's. I was just thinking we could get near the hyperwind's tail send a message, like basically broadcast Nikipi as some make it look valuable to them and have them show up there again.
Yeah, I don't know what they value, except for like wanton destruction.
Yeah.
So I just feel like
Now,
the option is to have, to knock, knock, knock on heaven's door.
I mean, we know they're after psychics. Maybe we could make the Saldron look tasty.
I mean, there are a lot of Saldrin that are psychic,
I
but
should
unless
point
we can
out,
trick them into ringing the doorbell.
Elise,
Yeah.
the last time you were psychically connected
Uh-huh.
with a Tahanan, which are the
Tahanan.
species that use the Citadel class ships,
Yeah.
you probed his mind and you saw Pelixin, like he.
That's right, he did. So they're gonna come to Plixin anyways. Or they're
Oh my
looking
god.
for, or they're looking for it.
I don't care if they come to Pelixin right now. I just need them to distract the Saldrin for like 5 seconds so we can get to Pelixin first. This is
Yeah.
like the whole. I'm not gonna get caught up on the Tahanan because frankly I don't understand it. But I'm just saying if we could have someone get them to pop up over there, that way we can cause that
I mean, we could try
little
to.
shitter to piss himself. That's all I want. I am a
We
simple
could ask
man
Alistair. I
with
don't know
simple
how it'll work.
needs.
'Cause I the only reason I was able to do is because we had Serigal. I don't know if Alistair can do it without.
We have the plans.
Give it to him. Here are the plans for it. Build it yourself.
Irene would have to approve of it, but like, I also think Alistair's incredibly strong. He doesn't need to do much. He doesn't need to talk to them. Like, we did not ring their doorbell. We kicked their door in and shat on their front yard. Like,
You really hung up on the ding dong ditch metaphor, huh?
it's the most helpful. I'm just trying to convey.
I am down for letting Alistair try. But I am also worried that they are going for Plixin anyways, because now I'm starting to think they know about the star.
That
Yeah,
might be
but
the
by the
thing that
time,
actually awakens it.
like, by the time they hit Pelixin, right? Hopefully, ideally, we will be on the planet and we will have some control over the situation with the star. And to do that, we need the Saldrin to be distracted anyway. They're going to show up at Pelixin. You know they're going to show up at Pelixin. You have seen that they're going to show up at Pelixin. I'm not worried about them doing that because they're going to do it and I can't stop it. I only have so much control in my life. Pretty much none. How can I abuse the fact that we know they're going to be there to our game? And that's making them pop up at Nikipi first.
And second is once they're at Pollux and after us, they serve as a orbital defense for us for a counterattack from
Yes,
Saldrin.
we have to get on the planet before they arrive.
Yes.
God, this must be why my mom's an oligarch. She doesn't have to, like, ask anyone.
Just tells the general to go take care of it, and they do.
Someone makes a decision, and then everyone else does that thing, and if shit goes sideways, then it's like, well, that guy was wrong. We'll kill him. Nah, they'll probably demote him, and then he disappears into the social ether.
Yeah, that's more likely. More likely
Unable-
re-education camps type of situation.
Yeah.
They're not big on executing. That's a little too metal for.
Yeah, that's a little too much. We couldn't be that cool.
Yeah, it's a little too direct.
Yeah. So that said, the battle plan on paper is to have battle bots engage because they can do space. Battle bots can do space combat, right? No.
No.
I thought they didn't need to breathe and stuff.
Sure, but they have 2 legs and 2 arms. What do you expect them to do against a spaceship?
Yeah.
I mean, unless you want to attach magnetic boots to them and throw them at the other ship.
I mean, yeah, they can
Done that.
board just like any other spaceborne ground
Yeah.
force.
Oh no, I'm not thinking BattleBots. Sorry. Besides BattleBots, we have the privateers for space combat.
Correct. And they are really good at it. They're also really good
That-
at boarding.
BattleBots, we can divide between space privateers with the promise that they can keep some of them. I'm sure they would find that incredibly nice.
Wrong monitor, you dumb thing.
And then also take BattleBots to ground with our forces that are going to be, planet side.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just because I want to get we got an hour left, and I kind of want to do one more thing, right? So,
Yes.
Yep.
3 days later, you guys get back to the Involuker. You guys I've spent the whole time workshopping a plan. Turns out it's hard to come up with a planetary invasion plan. Who knew?
Yep.
And you have 2 messages waiting for you.
Thought mine was pretty good, but go off.
One is tagged from the Bansulo system, and another is tagged from shit. Which system is this? Oh, it doesn't matter. I doubt. No, you guys are actually gonna. You might go there. Shit. Another one is from the Regency of Planets,
Okay.
and I'll look up the specific solar system
Regency
from
of
the
planets.
Toyota system.
Ooh.
Is this message like, how come we're not invited? What the hell, guys?
It's an audio message. You could play it.
All right. Click play.
This is a censor for the Diomede Ascendants. This message is intended for Elysian Lynette, the final Starkeeper.
Oh, it's always Elise. Elise, it's a message for you on the machine.
All right.
At least he comes to the machine. We wanted to contact you about your
Your extended
car
warranty.
God damn it, not these again.
Every time.
It has come to our attention that a force is being assembled with the intent of retaking Polixen. We would like to perhaps entertain this notion with our assistance. We invite you, Elysianet, to Diomed, to meet with us and discuss what your plans are and how we might contribute. At your earliest convenience.
Where is this place?
The planet Diomed is in the Toyota system. Over here.
Where? Okay.
You guys are currently to
So
one jump
indeed.
away.
Okay. What do you say? I post extra help? I do kind of want to know what's in it for them. Is this that's the first Charlotte cookie still? No,
No,
which
that's the
one's that?
Regency of
No.
Planets.
Regency. Hi,
Yeah.
guys, we're getting the tri-state area in on it. Just like we
Tri-State
wanted.
Alliance, the Tri-State
Yep.
Alliance. The Tri-State Alliance.
Look, I'm about to pull a evangelical kind of like theme park and sell 1,000% of our shares. Yes, we're gonna go, of course.
Okay, well, hang on. Let's listen to the other message first.
Oh, yeah,
It's
yeah.
addressed.
Razik is-
It's addressed to Razik.
Oh, never mind.
Never mind.
It's never
That's
for
rude.
it's
No,
never for
it-
me.
I want to make if it's private, I'm not gonna be here.
I'm joking. I thought you I understood what you
I
meant by
clicked play
never
on the
mind,
message.
but I automatically
Okay.
went. You're
I
ignoring
apologize.
it. Like we're not listening.
No.
Okay, the
that
voice
might be
of
private.
Xena, Razik's wife, comes through, and the message is, Razik, I read your
I
letter.
leave.
I don't know what to do, but it seems like you and your friends are serious about this, and if the fate of the entire Fire Expanse is really in the balance, well, let's just say I left that part out of my pitch, but I've managed to secure a strike fleet. I've also sent a message to the Diomede Ascendants. Since they are also Psi-Knights like the Starkeepers are, I figured they might be able to make good allies. I've also just gotten a report here that says that House Sanguilin is committing forces, so it sounds like you're getting what you asked for. So, I guess what I'm trying to say is, if by some miracle you get through all this the other side, come home and we'll see if we can figure this out. Okay. Good luck. Bye.
Razik probably looks like a deer in headlights. And you can tell, like, if he was a robot, the message would replay in his eyes, like, like he's re-listening to the whole message in his head. So for a couple of seconds, he's like out of commission. And I think the first word that are gonna come out of his mouth or his beak, they're kind of half whispered, but like loud enough for the crew to hear if they're around. He's gonna be like, maybe I'm not a total failure after all.
The day is young. All right.
I know.
Do you want to set a course for the Toyota system?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And of course, like if the crew actually stepped out of the room, he would relay that the Toyota group is because of his wife, and he would like keep the whole like.
Well, no, I
He might
think you missed the part where Hypolis just hit play on the bridge, so everyone fucking heard it. Yeah.
Probably.
All right. So
I was cared not for privacy.
I'm gonna commit to an accent, and if it falls
took
flat, it's because
so
they're
long.
aliens, not really from Earth. Here we go. All right. So you guys get in touch with the Diomede Ascendants, and they have like a shrine training ground that they tell you to land at.
Yeah, they're psionics, correct?
These guys are Psi-Knights, like the Starkeepers. Starkeepers weren't the only Psi-Knights in the Fire Expanse. There were also there were the cohorts, which were kind of like Psi-Knights who worked for the Sphere Mandate. Irene's prodigy
Yeah.
was a cohort. And then in the Regency of Planets, they have the Diomede. That's the word. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
The Diomede Ascendants. They are entirely Oshnin, which is a species I think we've only encountered once. We encountered a variant of the Oshnin in the form of the Empty, if you guys remember him.
Yeah.
Oshnin are the most powerful natural psionics. Like every Oshnin is born psychic. And so they start at a place that's higher than any other species in terms of their aptitude for psionic power. So the Diomede Ascendants, yeah, they are like the Starkeepers. They are a force of Psi-Knights. They use Psi blades. They follow similar kind of like quasi-religious military structure.
Mm-hmm.
So they're kin, of a type.
Cool. They probably didn't fight with the Starkeepers. Probably just like
Yeah, they're like rival schools, not
Yeah.
like rival nations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
our football teams would go at it, but we didn't actually hurt each other.
Oh my gosh, your company's softball league.
Yes.
Yes, exactly.
It's
That.
kind of like softball league.
So when you arrive, there's an Ashton. Now Ashton are humanoid. They have kind of like grayish pearl, kind of like that kind of tone range, gray to pearl skin tone. They have
Pearlescent?
they have large eyes, and they have 3 ridges on their forehead that go down to the base of their skull, like that, and that's where their hair grows. So they have like a triple mohawk. That's kind of like how they roll. And their
Nice.
women wear it really long, and it kind of comes up, down, whereas the men usually keep it quite short. Um, they are a little shorter than like your standard human, like using our measurements, because we're American. Well, most of us are. They would be like average about 5 feet tall. So they're just a little bit on the short side in terms of like human size, right? Yeah, and they're just kind of like the hair on their ridges is the only place hair grows on their body. They don't have facial hair or any of that. And they just kind of have their skin doesn't like glow, but it has a certain kind of
Like iridescent, kind of like mother of pearl.
Sheen.
yeah, well, not sheen. It's more like a matte, but it kind of has this soft appearance. Like they're out of focus on a camera almost. So it's just kind of
Hazy.
yeah. They just look kind of soft. Yeah, and this particular one is wearing a white robe with purple trims and large triangular shoulder pads, and he has a hilt strapped to his side, which you guys are in the know what that is. But he when you approach, he gives you a cordial bow, and he says, "Welcome to the Diomede Ascended Chambers. You are expected, Elise. These are your companions."
At least he returns the bow and says, "Thank you."
I
I
am
would also
Cap
bow if
Noli.
I'm there.
I will speak for the Ascendants in this matter.
I understand you have an interest in helping us take back Pelixin.
Yes, come. We will take you to a meeting hall. It's more comfortable for exchanges such as these. Do you require refreshments? He says. You guys enter, and it's just kind of like lots of tall windows with a little bit of space between each one, and this large table with chairs all around it. And in place of like a light fixture, they have like these floating wisps of light. They don't seem to be like attached to anything. They're just there. We are not well suited for guests, but we do have pure water and a few fruits from our cultivations.
I would be
Water's
fine with
fine.
just water. Yep.
Very well. Now, sit. Tell me about this this prophecy. We hear you are now declared Alukan of Gantoya.
Rizik.
I-
I thought you would ask about something else. I don't know why.
But real quick, would we have discussed? I think we have discussed this ship. Tell them.
Did
What?
you
never
look away
mind.
from your mic?
I wasn't trying to, but it's being stupid. Are we gonna? We would have discussed this ship, but are we going to tell them about the star?
That's up to you. I thought he was gonna ask about the Tahanan, honestly, because I figured that might concern them because the Tahanan do love to eat psionics.
Yeah.
I mean, that'll definitely concern them.
So like that's what I would like to bring to the table. It's up to you whether or not you want to mention the star.
Okay.
Y'all are called the Star Keepers. I feel like it's kind of on the 10.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, as you know, the Starkeepers were mostly murdered, and Felixin. What is going on with my microphone?
You gotta talk directly,
I'll be up on it.
not too close. That makes you very.
Um, We've recently acquired some assets, including
Not
Gresh,
Githyanki. That's the wrong word.
Greshtel,
The Greshtel. Yeah.
Greshtel, who are willing to help us try and take back Polixen from the Saldran Empire.
Putting aside the strategic importance of Polixen, why now? What is the urgency? Why does the last Starkeeper want to retake our planet?
This was recently brought to my attention, so I'm not privy to the full details because I was not high enough ranking with Starkeeper to learn this. But apparently, we had something in our possession that poses a great danger to the fire expands at large, and the Starkeepers knew how to keep it at bay. I am hoping that if I get back into the temple, I will be able to find out exactly what that was and stop it from destroying all life as we know it.
He's staying. What is it?
I don't know, but the Starkeepers believed it was a fallen star. Hence, Starkeepers. Makes more sense now.
A fallen star. Will you allow me to share my memory with you?
Of course.
Open your
Did
mind.
we leave or?
It is not necessary. So he reaches out
Check this guy out. He likes watchers.
telepathically. And he speaks out loud because he knows other people in the room, even though no one else other than Elise can see. Decades ago, there was an ancient site from before the regression. An archaeological find. It had old paintings from the earliest settlers, but we could not date it corresponding to known events because it would predate the new era. These images, and he shows you like these sort of this artwork was done in like a mural, right? And the art style is very much ancient Ashnan, and so it has a very unique look to it. It's kind of got large lines and very. It's not trying to be real to life. It's abstract art. It's supposed to be emotionally evocative. And as you're seeing through his eyes this memory, you see like it's a picture of Ashnan looking up at the sky on a clear day. You know, like it's not nighttime, it's day. And in like streaking like it's falling is what looks like an uncanny drawing of what you saw in your vision. As you know, we have the ability to see the psychic picture of what happened here. And we believe that this particular piece was painted after the regression as an homage to try to piece together what happened. You may not know, but what we call the regression, the moment when the galaxy turned back, it was a wave that blanketed the whole galaxy and killed many psychics. The Ashnan species here in the Fire Expanse was almost completely wiped out. Records are rare from that far away, but we estimate 99 in 100 Oshnin died. And it was only this planet, Didomed, that had the population to continue our species here in the fire expanse. We Ascendants, we are sworn to protect and to prevent anything like that happening again. Is this like your fallen star?
Yes, that is what I saw in my visions.
Then every Ascendant will fight with you.
Thank you. I am honored by that.
Elise,
What?
warn them. About the
Oh,
Dawn.
since you are being so gracious about this, I should warn you about another species that we have encountered.
He holds up his hand and he says, "This is not grace. This is about survival." Tell me what you meant to say.
I already forgot the species name.
The Tehanin.
Tahanan. We encountered a exploring hyperwinds. We were trying to learn more about them. They're called the Tahanan, and they have a great interest in psionics. And they, in fact, will attempt to steal psionics from anyone with the psionic abilities via lobotomization. And we find them to be a great threat. And if your entire species is psionic, I feel like they would be a great threat to you as well. And I could share a vision with him about what we saw. And
This information could save many lives. We will document everything. It may take time to comb through your memory to get all of the information we need.
I understand.
If your friends would like to return to the ship or walk the grounds of the shrine, while you and I can make sure we are prepared if these Tahanan ever show their face.
I have reason to believe they will be at Polixen when we go.
And they will die like the Saldrin.
I like this guy.
I like them.
Yes.
I like them a lot.
If I may, I'm not psionic myself, but I do have an extensive knowledge of the Tehanan biology, if it would be of any use to
If
you.
you would open your mind to me, I will get that information. It will not hurt.
I don't know how, but go ahead.
Fortunately for you, I have nothing useful.
That is good. Your kind is not open to the ways of the
No.
psychic world.
Yeah, that's why I was like, you and me both, buddy.
So yeah, Razik would just think about all his knowledge about the Tehanan biology and hope that opens his mind, because he has no idea how to open his mind. Like, how the heck do you do that?
This will take some time.
There are some special mushrooms you can try.
Ever try DMT? I'm suddenly bald and very muscular. Don't eat carbs. All right. So you guys spend the rest of the day, like, sharing your memories with the Didomidi Ascendants so that they are prepared for the Tahanan. Oh, and by the way, you now have the entirety of the Diomidi Ascendants to fight with you. So that's a lot.
That's a lot of cyanites.
All right, your army is pretty much done at this point, unless you guys can think of a more.
No, we somehow managed to get an army from everyone we wanted to.
Excuse me, I tried.
Quite fucking
Actually,
hard.
that was a great amount of trying. My bad.
Yeah, at least he was like, that was so easy.
That was for me.
It's like, what do
I
you mean? I
had a
had to be
vision.
a
And I was like,
bitch
hey
to my
guys, I had a
mom.
vision. They're like, we are your army.
Well, it turns out, when the fate of the galaxy is hanging in the balance, people don't
do
want
shit.
that to happen.
Yeah. All right.
All right, well, forces amassed. Do you guys want to have a discussion before we call it a night, just the three of you, talking about the session's events? Or are you guys ready to call it? And then next session we can bring in Irene for you guys to formalize the plan and go.
I think bring in Irene.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys don't want to talk about what just happened?
I want it to be like a bring in Irene, and also that acts as the way to catch Vegas
As a
up.
recap. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. In that case, we will be ending early, which is, contrasted from last time we played where we went late. We will be back next week, sparring any nonsense. That'll be the 4th of July, won't it?
Yeah. So at some point there will be fireworks, and our children will
dog.
be loud because they will be with their grandfather.
So, assuming we're all horrible nerds who want to spend 4th of July gaming, which, guilty, then we'll be here. Otherwise, well, we'll see what happens. So, yeah.
I mean, 4th of July means fuck all for me, but that's
Right,
fine.
yeah, because you're from the cold north. All right, so everyone, thanks for tuning in. We hope to see you next week. We hope you had a good time, and we will see you when we see you. Have a good one.